to 7-Sided Carpathian adventure. Travel back 700 years to the early 1300s. Castles like this dot the countryside. The Hungarian Empire, or Carpathian Empire, is at its zenith. The nascent Ottomans are on the rise, but neither Holy nor Roman nor an empire. Holy Roman Empire battles within. England and France fight one another. As the Templars recede into history, the Teutons are on the rise. Welcome to the Carpathian adventure. This was a great hall. There would have been a roaring fire. It would have been adorned with Gothic windows. This might be where our adventuring party might gather. Let's meet them.
From the kingdom of Aragon, I am Simon Val. I ventured forth with few possessions and little coin, save an ancient tomb I searched to decipher. But I've struggled to find clues, and at times, food. While freezing in the Alps, fate crossed my path with a shining knight and the champions of the sun. Having aided me in a desperate time, they have earned my service and my friendship. Now, using my wizardry, I fight by their side.
I am Balder, a Norseman, a soldier, and an eldritch knight. I left my home to leave politics behind, only to be dogged by it across Europe. I first met the Champions of the Sun outside a small town in Hungary. Together, we battled Ottoman raiders and vampires. The Champions gave me purpose again, and where it takes me, I know not, but I know I want to be a part of it.
I am Kip Kaelin, Ranger of the North, and I am lost. Hailing all the way from Garin in Scotland, I have faced great tragedy, losing all those dear to me. I am haunted by that fateful night, and what was taken from me. I face defeat at every turn, attempting to enact revenge on those that did this to us. And when all my strength, resources, and allies, save for my trusted wolf Lycoa, was depleted, I stumbled upon the Champions of the Sun at the Battle of Sagut. I decided to ally myself with these seemingly capable and worthy adventurers to aid me in putting the lost to rest. It is what she would want, or so she seems to indicate.
I am Edric, and I am from England. I spent most of my youth in the Navy. Climbing the ranks, I was granted land and title. However, I did not fit in. A heretic to most, I fled, leaving my wife and children behind. In a city on mines, I met a group that changed my life forever, the Champions of the Sun. In time, perhaps they might help me reunite with my family.
I am Vilela. I hail from far-off Ethiopia. With no brothers, my noble father indulged my obsession with self-defense. On business in Rome, my family was accosted, but my skills enabled me to defeat our attackers. My desire to fight crime fueled. In my travels, I made a powerful enemy who may now pursue me. Near the Drusistine, I met a stoic knight and the Champions of the Sun. Now, in a strange land, I hope they can help me deliver justice to criminals, or death.
In these dark times, the dead rise and strike fear and feed on the living. I am Baron Andre Franz Hellwing II. I am dedicated to unlocking the forbidden secrets of my family. Through science and God, I strive to make the dead stay dead. Many fear what they do not understand, the raw materials of the flesh.
I am Matthias, of the House of Bathory, Knight Baron of Carpathia. With my traveling companion, Ambria, I was dragged into a whirlwind path by a rogue monk. But those I have met since then have earned my respect. And, more importantly, my trust.
Welcome to the Carpathian Adventure. Thank you. Welcome. I'm Tom. Thank you for joining us. We're a group of gamers who get together in real life to play Dungeons and Dragons. Some of us are military, some are in construction, still others are retail managers, a few are in IT. We're parents, students, etc. So we do this strictly for fun. We hope you enjoy it nonetheless. There were quite a few thank yous in our open, except one. We'd like to thank you, our Twitch, our Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter followers, as well as our YouTube subscribers. Thank you for joining us. If you have not already, please follow on Twitch. Please like on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, please subscribe on YouTube. At last check, we are up to 443 subscribers on YouTube and 466 followers on Facebook. If during the stream you follow on Twitch or if you subscribe on YouTube, your username will pop up on the screen. To all of our subscribers, thank you. What is happening in the campaign? The party is building strength and to defeat a powerful vampire named Bayuk Osman Ghazi. To do so, they are creating parts to create a powerful magical weapon that, when used properly, should dispatch Ghazi. They acquired one part of the Heilige Lanza, or the lance head from the Spear of Destiny. They are now in a search of at least two other parts, a staff and a power source. The party started the last session approaching and then entered Borinth's home in the Badenweiler. Having defeated the threat that menaced the village, they were welcomed as returning heroes. In the village tavern, the party had some company. A village had 2 Goldener's Knot drinks and passed something painful. Edric played a game of dice named Piss, lost some money, then won some money. Kip reacted to the party's attack on the witches, Kip reenacted the party's attack on the witches' mansion in Ludwigshafen, and Borinth met the aged, legless former Templar knight Sigismund. Later that night, Borinth again met with Sigismund, had a long conversation regarding the past, choices, regrets, and the future. It was evident that Sigismund was dying. As the night grew late, in the tavern, Kip saw spirits embracing lonely loved ones that remained with the living. Before morning, Sigismund passed from the world of the living. The village spent the following day preparing for, then held a grand torchlit nighttime funeral for Sigismund. Kip and Edric went hunting for and found a large stag for a memorial feast. Simon identified a black feather for Borinth that he received from a traveler. After Sigismund's funeral, Borinth gathered the people of the Badenweiler. He remembered the night and told them that he planned to stay in the Badenweiler. Afterward, he spoke with the party. Borinth reiterated that he was staying behind and why. Some party members were surprised, some less so. As parting gifts, Borinth gave his holy symbol to Kip and a horn to Boulder. Kip gave him a crudely carved wooden wolf. After much discussion, he asked the party to seek out one named the Baron. Fuming after Borinth's announcement, Matthias left. Kip sought him out, and the two had an in-depth conversation about paths, what they left behind, and the only constant, change. After completing a long rest, the party departed the Badenweiler. Borinth walked briefly with them. They spoke of Ghazi, Galela, and future plans. After walking for a while, Borinth said his final goodbye and returned to his village. As the party crossed the rolling hills of the Badenweiler and leaving the village far behind, several horns sounded in the distant rolling hills behind them. They continued north for several days, asking travelers on the road for directions to Benelux. The party learned that Benelux is not so much of a place as it is a region. One of the most prominent cities in the Benelux is arguably a city built near a dam on the river Amstel, or Ampud Amstel Dam. And with that, the thing failed on me. The party continued north. Technology, you can't make this stuff up. The party continued north, and the road slowly rose as swamps formed on either side of them. We rejoin the party in progress. You guys, welcome back.
Yeah, good to be here.
Welcome, Galela, Zubaydah. Let's see if we have some sound effects here. Maybe?
Yeah, I heard horses during the opening.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, no, those were real.
And it couldn't have been us because we have no horses.
They're under the table.
We have no horses.
Well, we'll just restart that. Okay. You are on a road heading generally north. Covered wagons pulled by large draft horses pass you by on either side of you. On either side of the road, you note farms with peat being harvested. Here and there, large bodies of water are surrounded by earthen dams. The rolling hills give way to plains and to farms. We got this back. Bear with me 1 second. Here we go. Matthias, can you hear me all right?
I can.
Okay, welcome back.
Good to be back.
Awesome. Oh, there we go.
Where are we go?
Benelux.
Oh,
Benelux.
We're going to find your cart, man.
Yeah, my cart. My cart, man. What have they done to it?
We'll see if it's...
I can't remember, I thought.
What?
I can't remember what I said would happen to them if they didn't keep it safe. I know I promised them a lot of money if they kept it safe.
I'm sure you promised them death if they didn't keep it safe.
I know. Borinth and me told them something bad would happen, so I gotta act tough when we see it.
Okay.
We gotta hold a good front.
I mean, you did get the new armor since the last time, so you are a little more scary. I mean, if they take the time to look at the little itty
What's
bitty
scary about
screaming
screaming souls on my armor?
You guys pass through town after town. You overhear another story about the one called the Baron. Someone in a tavern, one of the innocuous places you stop, says, he was a large man. He was my uncle. Tall and broad, with beautiful blonde hair in the front. Just a shock of it. Despite being quite a brawler, he was always finely dressed and carried a gold walking stick. He was buried out in the cemetery, just outside Amsterdam's city walls. In the swamplands, it was once a sense of pride to be buried there, and their elaborate crypts and mausoleums. My uncle insisted in his last wishes that he was to be buried with his prized possession, passed down from generation to generation. It was a gold walking stick. It was mighty fine and expensive, I'd say. I think that's why that walking stick never left his side. Upon his passing, his family disagreed amongst themselves, as families are mine to do, on what should happen with that walking stick. After all, it was his wish to be buried with it, but it was also prized possession and worth a lot of money at that. Hell, I needed the money. What I could have done with that cut of gold, I could have gotten the whole family out of debt. Almost a year later, my brother and I toyed with the idea of retrieving the stick from his grave. We went out into that cemetery. In the middle of the night, there was a chill in the air. It was cold, like a cold I've never felt before.
The spirits were out. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it.
Reaching the grave, the soil was fresh, like he was buried yesterday. Looking at one another, we heard a dragging sound. Turning, we saw the figure of a large man passing through the gravestones, dragging a stick. We ran from there, never looked back. Whatever is out there, it can keep that stick. It ain't worth my life. After hearing that story in a pub, you continue north. Continuing on.
Pretty sure we did that.
What?
We might have caused that.
You think you might have killed that guy?
Well, maybe caused him to come back from the dead, maybe. But
Oh, that island's not around here, is it?
who knows what happened after
I
that?
don't know where that island was, but it seems more tropic.
Continuing north, the farms give way to more and more swamp. The elevation of the road becomes more evident. The air is thick and damp with the smell of rotting. On either side, through lower than roads, spongy terrain is broken by canals and inlets. Eventually, the smell of the sea air becomes slightly more pervasive than the swamp. On the horizon, you see a wide, flat, albeit dreary city. Looks like that.
Bugs.
Amsterdam in the Benelux. It's surrounded by a stout wall that is slightly higher than the surrounding area, but not by much. The most prominent feature of the city is an incredibly tall tower with multiple small spires protruding from it. Also in the sky, you see a black dragon. While still a distance away, you realize that the city is very much a trading port. The skyline of the slate roofs is broken by church steeples and hundreds of masts in the distance. Definitely not the scale of Constantinople or Venice, which some of you have been to. It is still larger than any other city that you have been to.
You guys, you all see that dragon, right? It's not just me?
Unfortunately.
It does.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
It appears to be black.
I mean, it's not like it's the first dragon we've seen.
Well, we don't see many.
I mean, the last one we saw sung show tunes.
Still was threatened to kill all of us.
The
and
one
eat us.
before that.
But we had enough
And
silver
he
to
and-
pay it. It was fine.
The one before that.
Well, I'm just saying,
ate
if
a
that's the
whole
nicest
horse.
one we saw.
We fed him a whole horse just to get him to go.
That seems like a small, appetizer for the dragon. You got off easy.
It was a very good horse. We liked it. It was old Bessie.
You didn't like it that much.
Oh, Bessie.
And don't forget, the silver was it was not a small sum. It was like an entire city's worth of silver that we brought there. So a regular person would never be able to pay that price.
It is a good thing that we are not regular people.
Yes.
To one side of the road, you continue north toward the city? Yes? No?
Sure.
To one side of the raised road, the city is still in the distance. To one side of the raised road, you note a large cemetery in the distance. It's in a swamp. It looks somewhat overgrown with unruly plants in need of maintenance. Some of the mausoleums and grave markers appear to be sinking into the ground, though there appear to be several figures moving about in the cemetery. Everyone roll a perception check, please.
Do the classic, hey, hello!
We come in peace.
I never perceive anything.
And do we see any movement in the city yet, or all we can see is the cemetery so far?
The city's pretty far away. I mean,
Okay.
if you appear, you might see small figures.
No. Not good for me.
I got a 16.
Oh, nice.
Got an 18.
I got a whopping 10.
But I have a 10 wisdom.
Oh, so that's good.
Yeah, 16 is great for me.
So that's good. I have a -1 wisdom. I think I have a 9.
And a 7 charisma. That's rough.
That's what the armor's for.
Do you think this?
You get like a +6.
Do you think this cemetery is the one that we heard about in the tavern? There might be a gold staff here.
It looks a lot like it. What he was describing.
That could be a magical staff. Might not just be gold.
Well, I mean, I've never been afraid of a couple zombies, and we are here.
Have we ever faced a couple of zombies? I mean, I always feel like there's a bit more than a couple.
At most, 30 graves are there. How many could be?
I mean, there weren't any zombies when we went to that one place, and when we left it, there were thousands.
True.
Could we perhaps just sleep a night before we hang out with the zombies?
You want to sleep in the graveyard? It is,
No, in
Oh,
the
where we,
city, fool.
Oh.
What, are you scared of the dragon?
No, it's not the dragon that scares me. It's
Galela, are you scared of the dragon?
all the things around a graveyard.
Matthias? Dragon? Do you care?
Oh, Galela's here.
I am not happy about it.
We were already long rested, right? Before we left?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So,
Every time I've
Let me
met a
go for a
dragon, it's
couple more
inevitably
zombies.
left me terrified.
Yes.
And
It is. I would take the
admittedly,
dragon
that
over.
isn't very often.
I would take the
But they're very
dragon.
large and they could eat me in one hit, in one gulp.
Oh, did you get it? No, you didn't. It was bothering you before. I heard the noises and then I saw it and I was like, wait, Tom's got real bug effects going on right now. There's a gnat flying around and then the sounds were like,
there a gnat?
yeah, there's a gnat down here. So we were like, no, damn it, Tom, got a little too realistic this time.
going the extra mile.
There he goes.
Okay, what did you guys roll?
16.
18.
No.
No. It said no. It said no on the die.
I don't know what Matthias rolled. What did you roll?
A 10.
A 10. Okay, so Zyman and Kip, you both notice a large tree with a lot of ravens in it. For want of a better for...
8.
I'm sorry?
8.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't see nothing.
Me and Matthias are just talking to the side while they're looking. Not paying attention.
A rather, for want of a better word, a disheveled looking raven, you note, flies toward the tree filled with ravens. Many of the ravens then launch from the tree toward it and seem to be trying to drive it off. The odd-looking raven kind of flaps around a bit and then falls on the ground in front of you two.
Don't let the dog eat it.
No. No.
It's a nice welcome.
I will I will bend over and I will scoop it up if it lets me. Gently. And I will use Speak with Animals. And I will ask it if it's okay.
You bend over and you scoop it up. And it like...
And I'll go back.
And you have this raven in your hand, and you note that many of the feathers seem to be missing from it.
Mm-hmm.
You also note that there's a seam around its neck.
A seam.
As if its head had come off and been sewn back on again. And then you note
Put that down.
that there's a seam running down the front of its chest, and a cross seam above, and a cross seam below, as if somebody opened it up at one point.
Yeah,
You're
I
definitely
will
gonna get sick.
definitely drop the bird at that point. And
You
then,
can, as you drop it, bones protrude from it, and it kind of...
and I'll say, what
flops.
devilry is this? I told you I would take the dragon over things in a graveyard.
You want to
Why
go
is
in
it
the
that I'm
graveyard?
not even surprised by the fact that we're now
Don't
dealing
want to go
with-
in the graveyard. I don't want to go in the city. I don't want to go in the graveyard. Spirits are everywhere.
Also, I'm not to be bothered, but I can't see anything.
Okay, we'll get back to that.
I'll, while I'm speaking with animals, I'll look up at the ravens that were in the tree, and I'll ask them, like, what sorcery is this?
One comes over.
Simon, has he always done this?
I don't know. I haven't known him that long. You've known him longer than I have.
I haven't known him to just start talking to dead birds.
It's a new skill I acquired.
All right.
You get me while your familiar's all like, oh, hey, what's up, buddy?
Just starts talking back.
This whole time.
Like the cold shoulder. Like this entire time.
Yeah.
You haven't talked to me. You can talk to me. You haven't talked to me.
I haven't talked to Rainer. I haven't talked to your raven. Like, what the heck?
The raven comes over, and he lands, and he goes, and he kind of points toward the mausoleum in the distance.
I'll take a look at it. Anything unusual about it besides it being a mausoleum? Is it closed?
Roll a perception check with advantage.
That is 15.
You look out toward the cemetery. You see broken and tombstones in this cemetery, kind of leaning on their sides, as if hasn't been well maintained at all. You see the mausoleum, a large mausoleum, and it's kind of sinking into the ground. There's a couple figures moving around it. One of them is unusually large. And as you glance at it, you see a shock of blonde hair on this one figure. And it appears to be dragging a stick behind it.
It's from the tavern, the story. It's here.
You kind of look. That looks a lot like the thing he was talking about.
And the raven says to you, they're responsible.
How many figures? 3?
2.
You see see two figures right now. One moves into the mausoleum.
Is the one with the stick the abnormally big one?
Yes, one.
Oh, wait. I'll reach in my pocket. Here, take the spyglass. Yeah, they see better.
And you look at this one, you peer through the spyglass, and it takes you a moment to focus to figure out what you're doing with
Balder, what do your spyglass eyes see?
Oh, hold on.
it. It suddenly gets really
It's so
small.
far away. It's so small.
You peer through the spyglass, and you can just see the swamp. There's like a layer of mist and a light rain falling, and the thunder in the background. And you see a figure that's moving, but he's moving unusually slowly. And he has what appears to have been very fine clothing on at one time, but it almost is as if he rolled around in the mud in it or something like that before he started doing whatever he's doing. And he's also this large, muscular figure with this shock of blonde hair and this very nice outfit, is moving in kind of a very disjointed fashion. There's another figure there as well that appears to be messing with some kind of apparatus on top of one of the broken tombstones, if you will.
I don't like that.
Is it zombies?
Would we be able to kind of relate them to what we saw?
Is it undead?
The undead we saw that we unleashed?
Unleashed? You glance at them.
Like, would I have an idea, or would I just not know what these creatures are?
Roll me an insight check.
Come back to haunt us.
4.
A 4. You glance over and you look and you're like, this thing's dirty. And you're like, wow, this guy's really slow. He must be carrying something heavy.
All right. I mean, he doesn't look that threatening.
All right.
It's moving pretty slow. I mean...
Should we go see if he has the cane? Or should we just leave him be?
What your crow friend wants to do.
He said that they're responsible for this demonic stitching of what was once life.
I mean, that is pretty impressive.
It is. It is alive, but it should be dead.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? I mean,
I'll leave it
look
up to
at it. There are bones and stitches and...
Oh, I mean, I'll leave it up to you guys. We can check it out. I know it doesn't look... It's 2 people.
You go first.
Sure.
I think maybe we can make it... Are we attacking them?
The way you said they're not threatening.
I hope they don't attack us, but I guess if we have to.
Okay. I was going to say if we're attacking.
I don't
Maybe
know.
we all hit one at once and then take it down.
It's like as Balder starts
We'll
walking
go
forward,
for
like Kip's behind him, like...
If anything
go
goes,
first.
if anything goes sideways, we'll go for the guy in the cane first. The stick.
We could have gone and at least gone to the tavern first. Had a drink, something to
You
eat.
mean the town that's
before
under siege by a dragon?
Before we... He's not sieging, he's just flying.
Well, maybe that's because they're all dead over there.
There's
nothing.
Smoke from the
there's-
chimneys and the masts.
There's nothing
That
left for him
smoke
to
could
eat.
be the chimneys. It's a dragon.
Oh, that's fine.
You can't just assume the dragon's a
Or
friend of the
maybe
town.
when we
I get very cranky when I'm hungry. It is on you. It is on you.
We don't have a horse this time. Maybe we should buy a horse first.
You have a wolf.
No.
I hand Simon
He gets mad.
a piece of jerky.
Thank you. Go ahead. Lead the way.
All right.
Tramps through.
Take out the hammer
Through
and
the
let's head over
swamp
there.
to the cemetery. Sounds like a great idea.
It's on the way to the town.
No, it's kind of off to this.
It is off to the side.
Well, the town's very far away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, wait a minute. You bring up a good point. If we do this and end up fighting, and then when we go to the town, we have to fight or something, will we be a little more depleted because we just got ourselves in
Who's
this?
gonna put us in the town?
I mean, there's a big dragon.
The dragon!
I feel like we always fight in the
You know, I
town,
have
though.
an idea. Why don't you go
Yeah,
ahead
you
of
go
us?
talk to the dragon, right? He can
Yeah.
go talk to
I
the
speak
dragon.
dragon. That is fine. I can
There you go.
talk to him just fine.
So we'll check out this old guy with a stick. You go make friends with a
I
dragon,
don't want to be alone.
and maybe we'll be welcomed into the
It is
town.
okay, though. If he gets eaten, I too can speak dragon, so we have a backup plan.
There you go.
Oh, I will go with you.
Can
for
you
now.
cast fireball?
Sabeta.
I mean,
you
I can
tap Reiner's screen.
I can put a ball on fire and throw it.
Good enough.
And then in that lower center,
It
there's
should
a
do the same
camera with
job.
a line through it. Tap on that. Yep, very good. Okay.
Hello.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi again.
I don't know where you're looking. It's just Jesse.
All right, fine. Into the cemetery. Let's go talk to the Baron with his staff of gold.
I mean, that is kind of nice.
Did the staff glimmer in the light?
I don't think so.
So we
Not
might
that
just
I
have-
noticed.
So we might just have a stick.
Could all be a legend.
What
All right,
if-
let's go.
What if he is summoning the undead? Like
Can
we did.
I? Abu's on my shoulder. Can I send him up ahead? Stealthily, high,
She has one too, so I want her to.
to see what's going on over there?
Of course you can.
Okay. I
Is yours
don't even...
What, is yours a raven?
No, he's an owl.
An owl. Oh,
So he can...
I could say hello.
Oh, yes. Okay, we'll get to that.
Say all the things you've always wanted to say to me.
Yeah.
I can never understand.
Where is my
We can
staff?
enter their brains. We can speak to them.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
it's not really
I
a
will...
bird.
I will say,
It's true.
be quiet,
That's true.
buddy. Go check that out, and I'll just say, and I'll send him off.
Very dramatically. Abu, correct? Abu
Angry birds.
launches from you. And against the black rolling clouds, Abu stands out like just in stark contrast to the sky and the lightning and the rain that is gently falling over the swamp. He stands out against not just the sky, but against the swamp itself, the dark muck and mire.
But he's brown, goldish. I don't know.
He flies, your eyes roll back in your head as you become one with Abu, and you're peering through him, and you're flying over the swamp itself. And you don't see anything in the swamp that appears to be hostile. And as you fly toward it, you can see this decrepit, falling apart.
You're under the screen.
Thank you. Somebody can grab that corner over there for me. And maybe stand those back up. You
The Z word.
you come across this decrepit, falling apart cemetery that once appears as though it was very well maintained and for well-to-do people at the same time. As you fly over it, you note that some of the cemetery, of the graves themselves are sinking in. Some have been moved and open. The tops have been moved, and you can quickly see that some of the bodies that were in are missing from inside of the graves. Others are just broken, and it looks like somebody tried to repair them over time and maintain them. As you do, you note that one individual, a large, burly individual, it looks like it might have been purple at one point, a purple, wealthy person's outfit, but clearly he was a brawler of some sort with dark hair except for a shock of blonde in the front. And as you fly around, you can see, roll me a perception check.
Ooh, in my head, I knew that was gonna happen. For some reason, 23, natural 20.
Okay. You look at it, and as you glance down at him, you see like bits of skin have fallen away from him, and chunks have like fallen off of his body in different parts. His clothes look like they fit him very well at one point, but now they're still fit well, but they're somewhat just kind of like hanging on his body. There's bits, and as you glance a little bit closer, you see that he's now missing one eye, and there's just a socket there. You glance over at the other individual, and you see another individual who's clearly also in somewhat of a state of decay at the same time. And you see someone or something working inside, doing something inside the mausoleum. There's like lights, flashes of lights coming from it, and sounds emanating from it, and burbling noise that you hear.
Don't like that at all.
So the figure
thing you
outside has. I didn't see a staff or really.
Yes, he is
cane.
dragging something, but it doesn't quite look like the glorious cane that you thought of.
Okay.
We were duped.
Can I?
Well, I guess it makes sense.
Can he
How would a
tell?
crippled man carry around
Can
a
I tell
20-pound cane?
what he's working on from where I
Where are you going to try and go up to the opening, or what are you doing?
am? I don't want him to know we're here. He's sticking out, you say. Is there a perch like above the opening of the mausoleum?
Sure, there's
where, like,
probably
if he perched, you wouldn't really just see him, just like in the middle.
yeah, there's a ledge above the doors.
I'll like have him land on the ledge and like do a quick little nonchalant peek, quick peek, just.
In an owl way, your head bends down. As you're doing so, a raven comes and lands next to you and looks at you. And your head glances down, and inside you see a figure manipulating some apparatus of some sort. And there on one side inside the mausoleum, where you would guess that the casket once lay, it looks like there's some type of experiment going on that table. On the other side of the mausoleum, it almost looks like someone's living in here. There's books and bedding, and there's even a small fire with something cooking on it. And you see the person standing there, and his back is to you right at the moment. And he's in this grays and blacks of garb. And he just looks somewhat different and unusual. Human, not like the others, no skin falling off of him. And he starts to turn toward you.
Oh.
You quickly come back up again. And you're looking at a crow who's looking at you.
I'll just like jerk his head at the crow, stop staring at me, and then I'll snap at it back to me.
So what'd you see? Just some cemetery workers? Tending to the graves?
I don't know if we want to mess with this. I didn't see any magical cane. There's some strange fellow inside doing some sort of experiments on things.
What kind of experiments?
What kind of things?
Experiments are very interesting.
Well, he lives here, it seems. He's got a whole setup. And I just...
Maybe we should
I
knock.
don't know.
Say hello.
Did he look... I didn't see his face. I looked away. As soon as he
Correct.
started to turn.
He was turning towards you, and you.
But I saw the complexion was very like
It was
different.
weary.
Different.
I mean, I don't know. I couldn't see his face, but he's like reanimating bodies. I don't think that's a person you really want to mess with. He might be kind of cuckoo. He's living in a graveyard, and there's no bodies.
If somebody's reanimating bodies, maybe we can find out how that plague started, or how maybe we could stop it. Not our primary mission, but we left that place in a bad shape.
I mean, if there's an actual person there, we could try to approach him as friendly.
I mean, it's either that or
Unless
that
he
could happen again
would
here.
love to work on a living body. He might be fresh out. I, again, don't see anything in this.
Or like recently deceased.
I pushed Balder just a little forward.
What do you say, Matthias?
Well, from what I understand, this situation just got very complicated. Did you see what he was experimenting on?
Unfortunately,
Bubbly cauldron kind.
no, it just seemed like a body of some sort.
All right.
I mean, it will be one thing if
Sounds
we
like it's right
saw
up your
that
alley,
he was
Mathis.
like doing a bunch of autopsies, but he's clearly messing with death. He's not letting these people rest in their graves.
He's
I don't
torturing
know.
them.
That's not someone I am interested in talking to.
No,
So we don't talk.
So Kip's gonna look around and just see if there's any spirits in the graveyard and just get a sense if they're disturbed or peaceful, or if they're just wandering aimlessly, or
Roll me an investigation check.
Perhaps we should go to the town first, or maybe a reward for cleansing
12.
the cemetery. And if we do it before making a deal,
see
we might
some-
not make any money.
Okay.
Apparitions move about the swamp, and they look at peace to the extent that they can. I mean, there's nothing violent in their behavior, and they're not completely in any kind of form like you've seen in perhaps the crypts of mines or someplace like that.
Can you ask the Raven? Oh, we don't know what the thing is. Never mind.
he said the Raven.
I mean, like, did it sound distressed when it said they're responsible for
It
this?
just said that they were responsible.
Ask the Raven about the dragon.
How long is that? How long can I use it for? Is it 10 minutes? It actually doesn't say. There's no time on
10
this.
minutes.
Does it say 10 minutes? Oh, there it is. Gee, it was behind the action. If it has not been 10 minutes yet, I will go to the Raven and say, do you know who lives there?
He's called the Baron. The Baron. Do you have any food?
I will pull out a small piece of bread. I will sprinkle it around.
That's exactly
The whole
what's
tree.
happening right now.
Oh my gosh, they're coming.
Can you ask?
Why is there an owl in there? Is the Baron related to the dragon?
And he's saying to you, I don't think so.
Can you ask if either of them are bad?
To people. Living people.
Is the Baron a threat?
It doesn't seem to know.
Say, it does not appear that... it seems that that we have found the Baron.
Alright, well, we've waded in this far, we might as well keep going.
Well, Borinth wanted us to meet with the Baron. That was his wish. He told us to find the Baron. And he said that the Baron would not be out in the open, that we would have to seek him. Borinth said that he owed a lot to the Baron.
Is the man we're supposed to meet?
Yes, this is...
Roddy Flesh guy is the guy that's...
No, that's not the Baron.
The Raven says the Baron.
I thought it's the guy inside.
Oh, inside, yes, inside. Who is no affiliation that we know of.
Right, the one who's not dead.
With
the
the
one who's a
dragon.
human, right? You said you saw a human?
Yeah, inside. Inside. Now, if we remember, the Baron had I took notes, but it is a little fuzzy. He wants to bring his wife back from the dead. Maybe he was the one with the family of 4. He was a mason, wife with 2 kids, and then I get into Matthias's life. Borinth wanted us to find the Baron, as the Baron is the one that sent Borinth on his path, and wanted us to... He said we'd be safe and in good hands with the Baron, but it's hard for me to trust him because it seems to me like he wants to bring his wife back, which could be in connection with vampires, which is what I think Borinth said that's what he was hunting, was vampires. Maybe to become one, or to turn his wife into one.
He wants to
raise his dead, to raise his dead wife.
I don't even have to need to have that much reason to be distrustful of him. He is playing God with the natural order of life and death.
I agree. Spirits often have a hard time finding peace and rest as it is without other humans manipulating or messing with their corporeal forms. But
He might not be the person
That is our
he
job.
once knew, though. How long ago did he come across all this time?
I don't know,
Could
but
be worse off.
yeah, but on the same time, I trust
at
Borinth.
least-
He said to seek him out.
At least he'll listen to reason. We know we can go speak to him.
And we should tell him what
All right,
Borinth
fine.
did.
You have convinced me.
Oh, did you get him?
No, it's going fast.
I will start
Well,
walking.
maybe he'll know about the dragon. At least we
Alright.
can ask.
Cautiously, I'm still behind you.
You're on a raised road through the peaks and the swamps. You step off the edge, and it's kind of like stepping down this raised road. It's crisscrossing through this swampy land, approaching Amsterdam. You step down in, the ground is spongy, and in some places your feet sink down in a ways up to your knees. Is anyone going with you?
Yeah, I'm behind him, but Kip does not seem to have the same struggles that Baldur seems to have walking through the terrain.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're fine.
much more light-footed. He's just kind of walking behind, like, why are you having such a hard time?
Yeah, every now
I
and
don't
then
understand.
I'm like pulling my
Find
foot
your
out.
footing.
Let you go alone.
I'm trailing behind.
Oh, Mattias is gonna sink. We're gonna have an Atreyu moment with the Mattias.
You're stepping through the swamp, heading toward it, and as you do, it starts to come more clearly into focus with the mist rolling around you, and there's this. You see, even as you're approaching it, you see other gravestones on either side of you that have sunken down into the swamp. They're actually below the water level at this point. Every once in a while, you see broken pieces sticking above the ground. Even the remains of of large tombs themselves, slightly jutting above the ground, and then some just below the surface, which make actually good stepping stones to walk along as you approach it. As you continue toward it, you see the mausoleum coming into view, and the face of it is away from you. You're approaching it at an angle, and as if you were coming off from one side, if you will, as opposed to the direction you're heading toward it at the moment. And you see some lights and flashes emanating from the mausoleum itself, and a figure slowly starts to walk out of the mausoleum. Its back towards you and turns toward these two creatures that are moving around in the graveyard and seems to say something to them. What are you doing?
This place feels cursed.
I will,
And I feel uncomfortable stepping on graves, but that's beside the point.
You continue toward it? You continue toward it, you're stepping on graves, looking around, trying to get your footing to find places where you won't sink down into the muck and mire. Every once in a while, though, Mattias, your armor, Balder, just cause you to sink one leg in and you lift it up, sucking it back out of the muck and the mire. As the ravens fly overhead you and you come up to the edge of it there. The person called the Baron has his back towards you. What are you doing?
I will call out.
You call out.
Yes.
Shield up.
I will say, hello, friend.
You say, hello, friend, to the Baron, or the person who... And what does the Baron respond?
Been expecting you.
What? The whole time?
What? Excuse me, what?
What is happening right now?
That is not the voice I expected.
Damn, now we should have went to the town.
I was thinking that, we should have just kept going.
Yo, that would have been the biggest, we'll go to the town first, and you just hear someone back there go,
I would have loved it. I would have loved it.
Welcome!
I've been expecting you.
What kind of sick joke is this? Angry? Are you making a joke on me?
The relationship between Mattias now is just gonna be epic. It's already started.
So, should I just describe what you see? Is that good?
Sure.
All right. So, you see this tall,
Hope you didn't have to go to the bathroom.
tall, really thin, sort of lanky, wiry person wearing this. The first thing you notice is a total absence of color. There's no color. It's as everything around you and you see him starts to feel sort of black and white, colorless. Wearing this long, sort of trench coat, almost cloak kind of thing. Lots of pockets and tools and all these weird stuff all over him. You notice around his neck is this red, amulet that grows, that glows like a deep, deep red. And it almost looks like there's a flame burning in it. If you really pay attention to it, it almost sort of mesmerizes you a little bit. And he's got these glasses that kind of hang over his nose. Really, really gray, pale skin. Older looking. And this crazy looking tall black hair. And you notice that one of his ears almost looks sort of a different color, as though it's may not have always been quite that way. Yeah, so, and then, he says, I've been expecting you.
Is he the one with the shock of blonde hair?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's
That's one of the other guys.
That's the beefy dude.
the well-dressed
Gotcha.
big
I
dude.
see you've already met my workers.
Yes.
Not formally. Maybe you should introduce us to them.
This here is Rob, and this here is Bob.
Rob and Bob.
Yes,
it's easy to remember.
Rob and
it's
Zombie.
very hard for them to say anything else. So this way they can speak to each other.
Did they just say Rob and Bob?
This one is a
to each
grave Robert?
In life, their names were Robert. Yes.
Yes, grave Robert.
They helped me take care of the cemetery.
Why does the cemetery look like this?
Well, not very many people these days will come out and help maintain the graveyard. Many do not venture out of the city.
Because you creeped them out?
This was before I
okay.
took place here.
Oh, all right.
But many are creeped
Are
out.
you sure you're not a dark spirit?
Are you sure you're not a dark spirit in your shiny armor?
That's a good question, Magnus.
Well, our friend
You're the
Boren.
one who's causing all the color to leach out of the air.
Our friend Borenth is actually the one who told us about you. How did you know him?
I know Borth very well.
Okay.
He has something that he was supposed to do for me. He has a debt, perhaps.
He paid it.
And do you have this proof? Where is Borth now?
He is home.
What was the debt?
He was to deliver something to me.
Did he deliver anything? Did he give us anything to deliver?
What did he hand? What did he hand you guys?
He didn't give me anything. What did he hand you?
How about you tell me who you are first?
Well, of course, we are the champions of the sun.
It's as I expected. He was supposed to deliver me evidence.
Of what?
Of a vampiric threat?
Oh,
Right. Oh, you weren't here. You're supposed to show him the amulet. Your necklace. The necklace.
yes. Hold on.
Right.
Hold on.
The amulet.
Yes.
Oh, you should
Some
like,
sort
you should
of-
like put it on and hold it. It's really
Some
cool.
sort of evidence, yeah.
Oh, it's pretty evident.
Sorry, Tom, I can talk louder. You see, I helped Borant escape and gave him his freedom to free his people.
You
We
didn't,
sent
you
him
didn't
on the
like
path.
sew him back up or anything, did you?
No. Minor stitches here and there, yes. But nothing.
Did you give him a lobotomy?
No.
Because that would explain so much.
I would rather not think that we've been
first successful.
walking with a living corpse. They
I
lived for
first
several
found
years and
him
never
with
quit.
the same level of intelligence that he had as he left.
Oh,
That
okay.
makes sense.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
His story's full of crap.
most of our evidence of vampires is just from being there, but we do have one of their amulets.
Ooh. I have heard of such things. May I see it?
It was built into my armor.
Well, come closer then. Come closer.
And I'll walk up.
I push you forward.
I'll go right up to him and I take out like a little notebook, a little book, and I start.
As you
Copying
take
it,
out the notebook,
like-
I'll kind of clench up on my hammer.
Yeah, just writing. I'm just making an exact copy of the amulet and writing a bunch of notes, and he's very interested in it. I get really close, really good, very.
It's like graveyard shading your amulet.
Yeah, just like really drawing intricate, like every little detail of it. And this is very good. This is good. This is what I needed
Needed for what?
to defeat the vampires. You see,
Oh, that's cool.
I like that.
the vampiric threat is they're
That
taking
is
over.
potentially promising.
They're taking over, all over.
Did
They
you know
are
they're
amongst us?
burrowing under the ground?
I have not seen. You see, I've been stuck here for quite some time now. I grow weaker the longer I stay here.
But you can't leave the graveyard?
I can, but my work keeps me here. I haven't had another reason. I've been waiting. I've been promised that I would receive evidence of the vampires. And I thought one day you would show up. And here you are, champions of the sun. Come inside. Come inside. Come inside. Come
in there?
Come. Yes, come inside.
This is still all glowy and light.
You'd understand if we're a little leery to trust you.
I understand. Come.
I know you say your friends are born.
It's safe. It's safe.
Just,
What did it look
just
like
for the
again?
sake of formality, I don't believe I ever heard your name.
Oh,
what
my
you were the Baron
yes, my manners. My name is Baron Andre Franz Hellwing II.
Baron.
I have traveled all these lands.
Say that again?
Franz?
Baron Andre Franz Hellwing II.
Andre?
You can call me the Baron. Everybody calls me the Baron.
Okay.
Like the Baron, or just?
I mean,
Baron?
who?
The
Just to be
Baron.
clear,
Baron.
who's
Baron.
everybody? Those three right there.
I'm sure you've heard some tales by now. I'm
crows
sure
call the
Baron.
Oh, yeah, true, the crows.
Why the Baron?
Because it's a title that was bestowed upon my family's name.
The seconds?
Very well.
All right,
Is
well,
it land?
let's get out of
father, and he has a father.
Andre, what lands do you own?
I come back from.
Because I am technically a knight baron, but I do not have land.
I come from the
Meanwhile,
areas of
there are many
Transylvania
barons who do have land.
originally.
Transylvania?
Yes.
Well, I don't technically.
Matthias, where are you from again?
Technically, I am from the Principality of Transylvania in the Kingdom of Hungary, in the. But
you two
I
might
do
have been
not, I do
neighbors.
not actually own.
Are you the
parcels
first?
of land. My family's lands are held, to the best of my knowledge, by my elder brother.
Our
He's
lands
old
are
enough
passed
to
down
rival
through.
this
Thaddeus walks away and he's
Yeah.
still talking.
All right. Well, the rain is getting a little heavier.
Come
Let's
inside.
go
I have
inside.
food. I have
Let's
food.
go inside.
Seriously.
Come on. I mean, if
Despite his
your
old
friends are
jerky.
here,
Yeah,
He's
jerky,
barely
yeah.
older
I
than
mean, how
my
bad could he
brother.
be?
He turns around. He walks into the mausoleum.
I'll follow.
You did say there was an experiment in that, so it might be worth going in and looking at it.
I'm willing to trust him this far. He's friends with Boris. I'll go in.
Yeah.
So
I don't like this.
Still behind
but I
you.
suppose we could.
and when you walk in, you see like all like laboratory type experiments. It's a fire. It's not actually that bad in there, really, considering. But there's books stacked up all over the place. I mean, everywhere you can see.
What sort of alchemical witchcraft is this?
What does it smell like?
I mean, it smells like stew and dead things.
The stew smell good though.
The stew smells good.
So it's like good.
The dead
and
things
then
smell bad. Yeah.
Alder gets
Getting like
Alder
weird
gets a little
whiffs.
excited at all the alchemical stuff. Kind of
Yeah. There's a lot of like.
reminds him of his
yeah.
cart that he's misses for
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
I'm looking at books.
Is this from your cart? Is this part of your cart?
Yeah.
This is my stuff.
It's got your initials on it.
We'll start going and start making like getting bowls of stew. I'll
around
start
the
making
back
little
is
bowls
the
of stew
cart.
for them.
There's a
Like
bunch of
pouring some
potions with
food
my
and some little
signature on
bowls
it.
of
Bob and
stew.
Rob look like
You
the
see,
people who left the
I've
cart
been
with.
stuck here for some time. I grow weaker because I cannot get out and use my abilities very often.
Why are you trapped here exactly?
What is your work?
My work is I restore life.
But
To the living.
what is actually? It sounds as though there's something binding you here against your will. So what is that?
Well, there's vampires out there, and they know that I searched for them. They know that I hunt them.
So you're hiding.
I'm not necessarily hiding, but you can understand some people do not like the type of work I do because they don't understand it. I bring life, but in order to bring
So have
life, there must be death.
Have you seen? So you're a vampire hunter. Have you seen a vampire?
Yes, I have.
Because I know you were waiting for proof.
Yes. You see, I need to know
how many there are, and I need to find those who are willing to bring back the evidence of the brute.
So you're
those who are capable.
You're aware that most of them are extremely powerful.
Yes.
Even the ones that don't look it.
I understand.
Is it telling the truth that he saw a vampire?
Like a dozen?
Don't remind
Like
me
we've seen a
about
dozen?
I can tell you the story. I have no
Ograd
secrets
had some
here.
friends with him in the pub.
Yeah, Argrad's the main one.
Well, no, he's not even the main
Well,
one.
no,
So
he's
you have met
he's the main,
many a vampire.
A few, yeah. Argrad's the main one we know.
Interesting.
Some even act as if they... Allies is not the right word.
Yeah.
But they...
Willing to work with you.
They're
if it
willing
meets
to
their
work with
ends.
you to get rid of other
Are
vampires.
you afraid that I am, in fact, a vampire?
Ah, wait.
No.
I can determine this. Wait.
There's lots of garlic in this stew.
I am not afraid because...
I can pull out a holy symbol.
Trust you.
And
You're just giving
I just walk up to you and I flick some holy water in your face.
It's okay, Matthias. We'll figure this out.
Do you do this to everyone that you meet?
Is there any reaction?
No.
Let's say.
Oh, this is something people do when they meet. I don't know how many people you've met.
Boring sentence here.
Yes.
You see, I can tell you the story. I freed Borinth from captivity. In return for doing so, he was to find me those who were capable of combating the vampires. And I was expecting Borinth to come back.
You say that you bring life. Do you bring life to the living, or do you bring life to the dead?
Well,
I think you know the answer.
There is a very thin line between there, you see. I bring and restore life to the living. But my research, it requires me to experiment on the dead. And sometimes, in some circumstances, I can bring life back to the dead.
You mean like those two out there?
Yes.
It has been my experience that the dead wish to remain dead.
I don't know. If I was only dead for a little bit, I'd want to come back, I think.
Well, for a little bit, maybe, but...
Yeah, but
there
you don't
comes a point where you have to
until you prompt
where I
them
would
back
say
whether they wanted to be.
perhaps I should not be attempting to shred the veil between life and death.
I'm pretty sure there's a few people in there, Simon, who are happy they're back.
It feels as though, given the fact that,
And that would...
well, we
In
won't
his
talk
head.
about that.
If you wish to destroy an undead enemy, you must understand that enemy.
Well,
To their very
understanding,
core.
yes, but create more of it? Is that strictly necessary to understanding it?
They're not vampires. Those aren't vampires.
These are not vampires. These cause no harm.
If anything,
They are quite calm. They are quite peaceful. They do their work.
Well, where has your research led you?
My
have you learned?
research has given me the ability to restore life to Odarki. I require more experience at this level. My research has taken me to a point where I need to be out in the world. But the world is a dangerous place for an individual like me.
Well, that's your problem. You've been going about it all alone. When you're with a group of people, nobody messes
He's
with
with
you.
Rob and Bob and the Crows and
Now you understand why
Ravens.
I've been waiting for the champions, for the sun to come here.
So, you are saying that they are docile souls ripped from the afterlife and shoved back into their rotting bodies in eternal slavery.
They have no reason to be angry. They have no reason to hate.
Did you ask them if this is what they wanted?
Did anyone ask them if they wanted to die in the first place?
Well, no.
Did you ask
Haha,
them if they wanted
checkmate.
to come back?
sound logic.
I mean, we weren't there. Maybe
Their
somebody
souls
did.
Their
but
souls have passed on. It's just their body that remains. They're two
do
different
you know
things.
that their souls have passed on?
Oh, for sure. My lord tells me so.
Your lord. Which lord do you follow?
The only lord.
Which lord?
God Almighty. He's.
You're a Christian?
He's the only one. Yes.
Why is it always the Christians?
The things Christians will justify.
Their souls have passed from their bodies and moved on. They're just the raw materials of flesh that is left behind.
So Kip takes the holy symbol, which is effectively just a like a branch with some wreath outlines and some leaves, and he puts it back in his bag, and then he pulls out a cross. And he flicks more holy water on you.
I have one.
Does anything happen?
My intent is to destroy the vampires. The vampires have taken everything from me.
It does not appear that this is not effective.
I like sort of flanking, like looking
What-
at the
what's
books.
wrong with everyone?
And I just pull out a mirror because, of course, I have one.
It is just a matter of
And
science
I'm like
and logic.
looking back at
coming
the
with you?
reflection.
No,
they
they will stay here. If you
with
choose
him
to
to
allow
where?
me to join you, they will still stay here and take care of the cemetery. They have a job, the duty to perform, and they are very content to do so.
One sent to seek you out. We have found you.
I would very much like to join you.
And he seeks to walk the path with us.
I mean, he's got the same goal we do.
You see, the vampires, they took everything from me. Everything.
Yeah, and what do you want with the vampires? To just destroy
I
them?
want to destroy them.
No other motive.
What other motive could there be?
Can I see
To bring your wife back.
telling the truth about that? Does he
The story-
Your
give
children.
off any underlying
It's
agenda?
really your call. You're the player character.
Play your character. Go for it. Dig in. Go for it.
Can we bring the books
For
with
now,
us?
I'm gonna
You
just
take whatever. There's many that I would wish to take. You a fan of books? You see.
I kind of just like peek my head in. About your family?
We should get a. we probably need to get a cart. or something, some horses.
Stories get twisted over time. They pass down time to time. I once, yes, I had a love, but she was never my wife. She was taken from me.
And your 4 children.
My other love, I guess, would have been my work, my education, and my schooling, and I got caught up and wrapped up in that. And I lost my opportunity to have a life with her.
I think I need to cast Thunderwave
But-
on the Ravens, get him out of here.
She fell very ill, and when I
loud
went
clap.
to go help her through my medical training, there was no helping her anymore. There was another curse that had taken over her.
Another curse?
A curse, the curse of vampirism. She became a vampire, and I was forced to end her life as a vampire. So I do not seek to bring her back. I seek to destroy those who did that to her and took her, and the many others that have been taken from the ones that love them.
That hit
And you
Kip's
can believe
strings.
there's many.
How old?
Probably like, you could tell, probably like 50s, maybe almost late 50s, almost 60. Older, not.
That's old in 1322.
Yeah.
Only if you look at averages.
I mean, in fairness, though, I think Balder was older once, so.
And averages include infant mortality, which was
Yeah, Boulder was
high
older.
at the time.
Yeah, I know.
It's just a joke.
I'll stare you in the eyes for
penicillin
a
and all
bit,
that.
and then I'll say, "I'm sorry for your loss."
Thank you. I see you are the hunter of the group.
Yes.
You must be. You carry the symbol of Boren. You would only give such a thing to a mighty hunter.
There's like these thick claws that are like
Yeah.
dangling. Yeah.
Only a mighty hunter would he ever have parted that with.
Yes, he was a good friend. He is a good friend.
I'm glad to hear that he is now released from his debt.
He will be living a good life. Leading his people.
What do you know about this dragon circling above the nearby
Would
yes.
I don't know how much the Baron would really know about it. Maybe like how long the dragon's been there? I mean, I would know how long it's been there.
It's been there as long as you have been here.
Okay.
Oh, that long.
Yeah.
Does it
Dragon has
rain
been here for
fire
years.
down upon the town?
I don't know, does he? Does he do anything
You have
harmful
not
to the
seen
town?
that happen.
No.
Yeah, see, told you,
Just,
completely safe.
Oh,
He just
yeah,
presides over the city. He just is there.
Are there people in the city?
There are people in the city, yes.
Oh, all right.
Maybe
Yes.
he's a protector.
I guess so.
All of this is extremely suspect.
Come on.
I also believe that
Matthias,
you
we've
are
seen way
very
worse.
suspect. You have done nothing but be negative. Where your friends here seem like they want to make change and positive change. I think perhaps you might want
Reconcile
to
the fact that you violate the sanctity of life and death.
perhaps you might want to, as they say, smell the roses once in a while and look outside your helmet and your armor and let down your protective guard.
This place could use some more roses.
Yes, it's been a very long time since I've felt the warm sunshine.
Do you know how to handle a sword or anything?
Sure, I'm capable. As I've said, I've been here a long time, and I'm a little bit weaker than. But this is what I typically use. And he reaches down and he pulls out like a morning star. It's like a, chain and ball with some spikes on it, and
Interesting choice.
Sometimes we sometimes these creations, the undead, when they come, they deserve a nice solid tap on the head to finish them off.
Like
Unnatural.
most knights I've known refuse to use a flail. You're as likely to wound yourself as the enemy.
Oh, we haven't even seen him use it yet,
I mean,
Matthias.
have you seen his
He
ear?
may be quite capable.
Have you seen his ear?
Well,
You don't have to stare. I
Maybe
would
we don't
describe it
talk
to
about
you.
maybe
Alright, well.
you shouldn't point those things out at the first meeting. It's a little rude.
It is. It's very rude.
I mean, I'm the last person to talk about the ears. Yes.
Yeah, points.
Well, I mean, I don't know where you'd like to start, but we have a lot of information to share about vampires.
Well, I can pack my stuff here and we can continue onward. You can tell me and you fill me in.
Will they let you in the city?
Yes, I come and go as I please. Believe it or not, I've done very good things for some people in these towns. As I said,
It is kind of hard to believe because the stories about you not around here, not so
I
good.
don't believe that they were all necessarily bad.
A benevolent necromancer.
Sometimes to
Are you
restore
playing
life,
games with me?
that energy must come from somewhere. So sometimes you take from the ill or the dying, and you have to make the hard choices. But you could restore life to someone who can continue to live a good life.
Like your 4 children.
I have never had any children. As I said, your stories, you mix up your stories.
4 children.
I have the notes right here.
Alright, well.
Is his cane glistening in gold? Does it look really?
He doesn't have the cane.
Oh, he doesn't have the
No.
cane. The guy outside had the cane.
Nope, he doesn't have a cane either.
Dang it.
He's
Yeah,
got a
stick.
stick.
It was a stick though. It
And
wasn't
shovels.
wasn't as nice as we thought it would be.
Shovels.
It's a stick.
So the stories were embellished.
The
feel about
stick
this.
you talk of, the gold, has been returned back to the Bob's grave, where he was originally buried, with the rest of his parts that went unused.
Okay.
Noble of you.
Minus his head that he crushed. with the flail.
I put the blonde hair back where it originally belonged, yes.
Oh, let's go then.
Do you want to eat? I have the food. I made the food.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's hard to. It
You
smells.
are so rude. I'm starving. Thank you.
I found
it's
maybe a friend of
very
yours
good.
outside, a little raven.
Try so.
Yes.
He looked like he needed
let
some
me
help.
know.
I'm afraid
He
that's
let
what
me
it
know
is.
that you.
Okay, so he's okay.
Yes, he's very good. He's good.
I don't know, but it tastes good.
Your names, please. Your champions of the
yes.
sun.
Yeah. Kip Kalen.
Kip.
I'm Balder.
I'm Simon.
Simon. And you, quiet one.
Galela.
Galila, and the shiny man. Your name, sir. Knight.
Matthias Battery.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
It doesn't ring a bell? You're from
What?
like the
Yeah,
same
we're all looking at you to see if it ring a bell.
No. Doesn't ring a bell.
No.
No. Would it? Should it?
Maybe. It's up to you. Carpathia is just north of Romania. Yeah, or Romania kind of straddles the southeast.
I'd imagine he's a little bit naive to maybe some of those things.
That's all good.
You know?
Your character.
Doesn't work in those social circles.
No.
Well, we have nothing to help you carry any of your belongings.
I am good. I don't need much. I go through, he scrambles around, he puts some books and stuff in the bag and, some of his tools and, he packs it all up. And...
An actual bubbling cauldron.
Yeah.
Right in the bag.
Yeah, he just pours it in. Like, where's it all going? You're like,
the flasks.
Yeah. I hate when they break inside there.
Wait till you see my cart. You're gonna love it.
I could use a nice cart. Yes.
Once we get it back.
You guys help him gather up his stuff.
Yeah.
And then you slowly make your way back out of the swamp. Yes?
Yeah.
Yep. Toward the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's squishy. You're sinking in.
Bye, Bob. Bye, Rob.
Oh, they're not coming with us.
Bye,
Right?
Elvis.
Bye, Blair. Hope you find your dad.
Hope you find your dad.
You.
God.
As we walk by, I'm gonna who was it? Bob or Rob?
Bob and Rob. Bob was the big guy.
Whoever he might have pointed to that said that he put gold back. I'm gonna say, do you have any use for the gold? You mean now that you're alive? See if he
Saying that to Bob?
He doesn't respond.
He doesn't even seem to acknowledge your presence. It's not like he's ignoring you. He's just kind of going through whatever methodical task he has to do.
Just take another bag. Keep walking.
You guys walk through the spongy terrain. The rain is starting to come down and kind of soaking you through. You eventually get to the edge of the road, of the raised road that runs pretty much north-south. The ravens are flocking overhead. It takes a little work to get up onto it because the sides are so slippery with moss and grass that is just slick and running down. And then you're finally up on the road. Benelux is off to your right, to the north, or Amsterdam is off to the right. You see the walled city with a tall spire protruding into the sky. You are watching the Carpathian Adventure on 7-Sided Die, and we will be right back.
Can't stay away from you guys. Come on.
My name is Jumnus Dawnflower. I used to be a merchant sailor until I was shipwrecked on a strange island and killed in a sacrificial blood ritual. In the moment between life and death, an otherworldly goddess of light came to me, offering me a second chance at life if I swore to enact her will upon the world. Now I travel with the champions of the sun, looking to right wrongs, vanquish evil, and earn the new life I've been given.
Aha! Hello, friends! You can call me Louvier Moreau. I come from the beautiful country of France, of course! Traveling as a salesman, banished from my home, where by the hand of my twisted sister, my father was killed, and I was implicated. Mon Dieu, how low I've come. But in that low, I found the champions of the sun. Although they may not smell like sweet wine, they are honorable. Mostly.
My name is Virexin. I am a monk who was exiled into Greece after fleeing my homeland. I was sent on a quest via a dream I received. I went in search of great heroes I saw in the dream to help stop some monstrosity from wreaking havoc across the world. I found those heroes in the champions of the sun. Now I strive to gain their trust so they can one day help me defeat the vile beast that threatens everything.
I'm Aldrich, and while I grew up an urchin in the narrow confines of Venice, I never seemed to fit in there. Except for this music box, my past is hidden to me. Now north of the Alps, I feel I'm closer to home, wherever that might be. Near the Untersberg mountain, I discovered these intrepid adventurers. Though they're blazing a dangerous path, perhaps they might help me discover who I really am.
I am Mikolash, a monk from Romania, and sometimes too curious for my own good. My scars tell only part of the tale. Having witnessed cannibalism in my village, as a child I fled, never to return. On my own, I stole from others to survive. A monk caught me and offered me a better way, but I abused their kindness. Now I walk alongside the champions of the sun. Will they be my own undoing? Or have I finally found the path I was meant for?
I am Borinth, the cave bear. I come from a tribe of barbarians that once lived in the mountains of the Badenweiler. While on my sacred spirit quest, my tribe and family were attacked with none left alive. I now seek the power to avenge my people. With my rage, I grow stronger, and with the champions of the sun, I seek a path to restore and preserve my people's culture and rid this world of any evil that stands in my way.
You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on Seven-Sided Die, and we rejoin the Champions of the Sun, plus one new one, outside of Amsterdam. Welcome back, guys. You guys are continuing north up the rainy road, and it does start to amazingly clear up a little bit as you continue north. You're on the road heading toward the city. It starts to come into view, and you see the tall buildings inside. It seems to be built up vertically, relatively speaking, 3-4-story homes, very tall, very narrow, surrounded by, you can see canals going in and out of gates in the walls themselves, leading into the swamp and to other points beyond. Beyond the buildings and structures of the city, you can see a huge array of masts out in a port far beyond, but still the one thing dominating the town is a huge tower made of stone and some type of stucco or concrete, towering up into the air like a giant spear piercing the sky, and several other smaller towers protruding off of it. As you continue, as you approach, at the gate, there are several guards and a rather cherubic toll taker. As dreary as the town looks with the gray overcast, he actually looks like a friendly person, and he's somewhat counting each of you as you approach and jotting it down in a ledger. And in a friendly German dialect, he says to you, what's the nature of your visit, and how long will you be in town for?
We're here to slay a dragon.
Very funny. You're not the first one who's used that.
It is quite interesting. He lives here.
The dragon?
Yeah.
I think he lives with the owner of the tower, I believe.
That's
yeah.
cool. That is quite the tower.
Yes, it is. He built it a few years back. It's amazing how quickly it went up, too.
We are here to see some people and then be on our way.
Yep.
Yeah.
What,
Honestly, just on our path north.
Day, a week?
Well, that depends on the first day, I guess.
Well, there's different fees for how long you plan to stay in town.
What's the fee?
Fees for staying in a town?
Well, transiting, it's the toll. Yes, it's how to make money.
Highway robbery.
Well, what's the fee?
Well, it's 5 silver a day or 1 gold for a week.
Do we get a
resident
citizen discount?
We'll pay for the week.
You pay for the 6 of you for the week.
I mean, this town is beautiful. We got to keep it up.
Well, thank you, I think.
Before the dragon burns it down.
I hope he doesn't.
Yeah.
He collects the gold from you. He kind of rolls it over in his hands and, seeming somewhat satisfied with the amount, he hands it to another one of the guards, who shoves it into a slot in a metal-facing part of the wall. And you guys venturing inside the city, it is busy. It is busy. Shops, warehouses, taverns, inns are all tightly packed around very narrow streets. You can see the canals leading out to the ships beyond. Like Venice, it's bordered by wide, cobbled, broad roads. Canals wind their way through, but unlike Venice, the canals seem somewhat organized as opposed to how chaotic Venice was. Unusually, you note a large number of shop windows with scantily clad, attractive women and sometimes men lounging in them. Attached to the frame of the associated door to each is a large, ornate, cast enamel medallion with a stamped number in a square. Above each respective door is painted an ornate carved wooden or metal sign that hangs from a metal bracket. Every sign looks slightly different, although they all seem to depict couples in various bawdy acts. As you also note, other shops displaying signs for herbs and powders, occasionally associated with a grinning patron, either smoking something or with powdered residue on one side of his or her nose. One sign depicts a grinning patron bent over a smiling, busty woman. There is a small mound of purple powder on her chest, and a similar residue covering the lower part of his nose. Passing an inn, everybody...
Sinners. All of them. Sinners.
Sinners?
Sinners, yes.
Oh, I thought he was saying old people.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were saying too. I'm like, what? Seniors?
Seniors. All of them.
Like, seniors, great role play guys. Sorry, I meant to do that.
But
I've seen the.
I mean, this place seems fun.
But there was a warehouse. Was it bitten by a house?
You're full of them today. You got some good ones.
I mean, this is the right location.
This may also be where the bitumen comes in.
Oh.
Well, I mean, they're not bombs. They're just barrels of highly flammable tar that explode at a moment's notice.
And destroy a whole town. So, yeah, sort of. Yeah, but...
One of the few fires that was not our fault. My fault.
That is a good way to
look at it. One of the few fires that was not my fault.
That is a good way to look at it. You're right. You're right. They did try to blame us.
True.
So, passing an inn, everyone roll a perception check, please. Well, everybody except the Baron.
Ooh, okay.
What is this?
Rolling in the dirt.
Done. 3.
Full perception, you
Is that a
said?
20 that it landed on?
Yes.
It is.
13.
He can come back now. He's redeemed himself.
23.
23. Okay.
I got 3.
Um,
I'm still
I
looking
wonder
at
why,
I'm
yeah,
still
I was going to
looking
say,
at
I wonder why we're so distracted.
13.
And Mattias.
Could you guys walk slower? Please.
Checking my,
There's so much going on here.
my 15.
A 15. Mattias, you recognize a cluster of individuals. Passing an inn, you're looking at a large, multi-paned window. Probably like 10 panes wide with a bow in it and maybe 6 panes tall. Inside, sitting around a table, there are 5 individuals dressed slightly better than you recall, but you have seen these individuals before.
What do they look like?
You see 2 couples and 1 gentleman. And they seem like middle-age, just middle-aged folks.
But
A man,
But
a
I
woman, a
don't-
man, a woman, and another man. And they just seem familiar to you.
can I see their faces?
You go up to the window, it's kind of blurry, and you look in closer in the window. Yes, you do see their faces. One of them turns and looks up at you, kind of surprised. Seems to, through the glass, you can't hear each other. He looks up and he points to the others, and they all look up and they're like, oh. And they kind of smile and they wave at you.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
Do I recognize them now?
Roll a insight check.
I was waiting for the table
I will,
to flip over. They
I
all
will
start
give you
running.
guidance.
Crossbows.
It's him!
It's him. The guy in the shiny armor.
I'd recognize that armor anywhere.
It's blinded.
So you can
That's a
add
natural 20.
A natural 20.
and you can add a D4 to it. I get it.
There you go. You instantly recognize them from Schloss Kyberg. They were 5 individuals. Well, there were 6, but one left his wife behind. There were 5 individuals that Balder gave his cart to.
Hey!
And
Oh my...
They've been waiting for us.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Well, that's
Yeah, we don't see it.
unexpected. Not unpleasant, but certainly unexpected.
Does he typically talk to
Balder,
himself?
we might be able to...
All the time.
What's that, Matthias?
Rambles.
too back in Schloss Kaiborg?
Of course, that's why we're here.
They're in there.
What are we waiting for? And I'll start walking in.
Okay. You go into the tavern, and as you walk into the tavern, it's a pleasant enough atmosphere. Rather broad room with big windows on the outside. It's got a small crowd for the middle of the day. The sky is starting to break, some of the clouds overhead, in between the little patches of blue. There's some folks in there. There's some appear to be doing business. Others are just having a good time. You walk inside, you see the 5 individuals over there. Joseph, you remember Joseph and Sophie Schlossleitner, Gutspeller and Gerlind Weiss.
Yes, I remember all.
It was Meinrad and Gertie Strack, but Gertie was left in Schloss Kaiborg, if you recall.
Poor Gertie.
Meinrad looks rather pleased with himself. They're also dressed slightly better than they were when you left him.
I did give him a bunch, right?
Yeah, you gave him money to take the car.
You gave him quite a bit of money.
Gave him 1,000 and 1,000 upon receipt or something.
Something ridiculous.
He walks up to you and in German and Deutsch, he says to you, Boulder, good seeing you again.
Good to see you again.
Yes, and I see you. I remember Simon and Marius. I don't remember these 3. But welcome back.
I didn't think we'd ever make it here.
I didn't think you would either. That was a long time ago.
I am the Baron.
Baron, I'm Meinrad. Yes, I was.
It is good to see that you did make it. I cannot say how surprised I am.
Well, I didn't think they'd make it past the first pass before being slain.
I'm stunned. We thought you would all get killed in the castle. I mean, we thought for sure that you were going to be,
You didn't hear what happened?
I mean, we've heard rumors, but, news doesn't travel that fast.
You should have stayed. It was a great show.
It was a
That was in
very
Kaiborg?
dear thing, but what was it that did it, Balder? Was it the sally out, or was it the? Well, it certainly wasn't. It certainly wasn't that expedition into the catacombs.
No, that didn't help.
No.
I don't know anything about
catacombs. Now I'm
but
feeling much worse than I was. All right, time to. I just need a drink to get my mind off that.
well, we'll buy you a drink since you generously paid us, and if that's okay.
Well, I hope all my belongings are still in order. I know it's been a while.
I hope so too. I believe they are.
All right.
We
can figure that out tomorrow. Tonight we drink.
Okay, very well. I mean, barkeep, he goes ahead, he orders up a round for all of you, and they bring them over. And he sits there and cheers. Welcome back. I'm glad you're alive. And to your new comrades, I hope you stay alive for a little while longer. I guess the others didn't make it, though. They all died?
Most are fine. They're just on their separate ways.
Ah, got it. Well, welcome back.
Maybe a couple.
No, welcome.
I will raise a cup to our fallen friend, though.
So one lost.
He doesn't remember his name.
To
the friend.
Whatever his name was. Her name.
I'm sorry for your loss.
To Rob.
Rob and Rob. The best.
Hard silence me because of how pointless it was.
Well, you had another one, Edelric, and there was a female with red hair, Kartra, and there was a big burly one, kind of dumb, named Boren. I mean, I don't know what to know.
Archer unfortunately didn't make it. The big burly one that didn't wear any clothes, he retired.
Very recently.
He retired.
The wizard didn't make it.
Wizard?
I don't think he was with us then, though.
No, he was.
That's fine.
I'm the wizard.
You're the wizard now. You're a better wizard, though. It's fine.
Which wizard did we not have?
I don't know.
one?
This is the first time I'm hearing about another
We
wizard.
might, he might have went a little evil.
Sorcerer.
And we
Sorcerer.
removed him from service.
Warlock or sorcerer.
We removed him from service.
No, I thought he was
Oh,
long
no.
ago.
you
that
mentioned
was
his
a
name.
long time ago.
Dare not mention the names. Come on.
What was the name?
No, we don't say it. It's she who must not be named.
Voldemort?
The forbidden one. We don't. He was long before Schloss.
You say forbidden one, and
I
look,
thought
he
we
goes
were
off on a
I
rant.
thought we were naming the ones who didn't make it.
Oh, are we talking about Gundry?
While we're
we don't talk about it.
Yeah, we're trying not to say the name.
Oh.
It sets him off a little bit.
while we're drinking, I'll turn to the one guy that's
him off?
talking and be like, so what's with that big tower?
Well,
You've been here a while, right?
Don't ask.
Well, yeah.
Don't ask.
Okay.
What about the
we're
dragon?
gonna knock the tower down. We're gonna blow this whole town up. Don't ask.
What about the
Just
dragon?
drink. Here, have another one.
But that's where the dragon is. You don't want to even talk to the dragon? Continue, please.
It's been fun.
Well, I mean, it's kind of important.
I think
to
they
your
do.
friend. I mean, he may not want to know, but I mean,
Say it quietly so only I can hear it.
okay. A local noble. Well, I mean, I think he's a noble. I mean, I assume he's a noble.
I mean, to build the tower so big, you
Yeah,
have to have
I mean-
pockets that are deep.
But maybe he doesn't have something else so big. Maybe he's,
Possibly.
making up.
Yeah.
But
He could be new money.
yeah. Well, I hear it's bitumen money is where he's getting it from. But
What?
I'm sorry.
Bitumen?
Oh,
Yeah, he
bitumen.
makes his money from bitumen.
Yes.
What this
I
bitter
told you not to ask.
That's why we're here!
Bitumen. It's like a flammable material that it explodes.
Well,
it does.
Blew up a whole town.
It was a small city.
He said, I've heard of the champions of the sun, and he really wanted to meet them. So he paid me for the car. He said he would hold on to it.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse.
You know, it's in better safekeeping.
In the secure giant tower.
I think he just forfeited the second half
It
of the payment.
makes sense, unfortunately.
I mean, otherwise I would have had to like put it in one of the alleyways or something like that, and somebody might have stolen it.
And how much did he pay?
I wasn't
for
going to
it?
leave it out in the swamp. Well, he said he would collect it from you.
There is nobody good
paid-
out in the swamp, that
he
is
paid
for
me-
sure.
He paid us 3,000, which was very generous. It was much more than. And he said he would make, but he wanted to meet the
You wanted
champions.
it that bad? Oh, I guess that's why he wanted it.
So.
Why did you tell him it belonged to us? You were supposed to take care of it.
Well, I mean, it did say Boulder's Potions across the side of it, or something like that in big
I did
gold
paint that
lettering.
on there.
Boulder's apocalypse.
I did
I
paint
mean,
that.
it
You're
was-
right.
So I mean, it was kind of
The
hard.
only Baldur in the world?
It was kind of hard to hide.
There was the sun with all the rays on it. Yeah.
I did paint all that on there.
Yeah, so-
Baldur, you seem to be unhappy with this gentleman. And I'm gonna take my hands, I'm gonna put it right up on, like under his face. I'm gonna start looking around at this. You seem to be very unhappy with him. Would you like us to do something about this?
No. He's innocent in all of this. No, don't. Nothing to him.
No, he said it was. He's going to take good care of it. He promised.
I think Baldur wants his card back.
And yes, I mean,
I just want to get a look at your fingernails while you do that. Like,
That's
are they
alright.
like they're dirty, like all
Oh, yeah.
green and moldy, or are
No,
they like
not like
black?
green and moldy, but just like they're just like workers' hands. They're
got
just,
mechanic hands.
it's like a lot of nails that have
Kinda
been like
a maggot
smashed
going
and-
from one fingernail to the other.
Yeah, like black in there, like bruised in the nail. You know, like,
Alright.
yeah,
Just observing.
yeah. Perhaps he should lead us
He's
to
all
your
like-
cards. Yes.
Well, I think we know where it is. He doesn't need to bring us there.
I'm not going to. I can't imagine. He seemed like a decent enough chap. I mean,
We don't really have a choice now. He wants to meet us.
All right.
I'm sure he already knows we're here.
Maybe not.
I mean, we are searching for answers to where the barrels of bitumen were coming from.
We may have found that answer already.
Have you heard of the trouble with the Teutons?
Would I have heard of anything like that?
Roll me an insight check.
I was going to do a spiel with him and ask if he was capable of handling himself. Because we get him in trouble, but after that...
18.
We'll find out.
You've heard that...
have to watch him.
We'll find out.
From far up north and east, that magic seems to be in some way affected, and perhaps to your even more striking to you is that religion, they seem to be losing their zeal for religious pursuits and secularizing, and to the point that they're not believing in gods or gods anymore, which is disturbing to most people in the world.
Okay. And you're saying, and magic is also
somehow being affected, yeah.
Like affected negatively, like
it's like not working.
Not working.
Like
Okay,
anything,
right.
like religion and magic
yeah.
and things that are the unknown are being affected somehow.
I'll relay some of it. The spirituality in the north with the Teutons, it's diminishing. The magical effects of belief is diminishing. The effects of magic.
We believe that they might be using the bitumen to help destroy artifacts and magical relics.
The bitumen is very powerful. I could see this to be true.
We saw it burn down our Munich. Almost, like half.
Yeah.
Like a little pot.
The warehouse district.
Yeah. Yes, and all we found was that it was being shipped from this area
to here.
And that is what brought us here.
Well, let's just go meet him.
So,
What time? What round? What time?
Midday, right now.
Well, I would know my way around. I mean, right?
You might know your way around.
Okay.
It's a very narrow street.
On the way there, I'm
Tall.
going to any like passerby, townsfolk. I want to ask the most approachable person if they know anything about this guy's reputation or
Which guy?
presence.
The tower.
The tower man.
Tower guy.
Did we get a name? Or we didn't get a name?
No. We should ask for a name.
We should.
We should have done that before we left.
We already left?
That's west.
Who are we going to meet?
Do we pay?
Honestly, we should have blew this whole town up over the 6 gold to get in.
It's true.
Missed opportunity.
Highway robbery.
Tell me, who was the contact within the tower?
Well, I gave the cart
He's now
to
the tower man.
The
We
tower
don't
man.
need to stay.
Otricard van Dracunis.
Dracunis.
Ah.
Yeah, Van Dracunis.
Van
Otricard van Dracunis. But I think he's...
Van de Man.
Wait,
Van de Man.
I heard that. I heard that.
That's a very
Have you
big
ever
card.
seen-
So as he acquires
Seen
things, he adds to his name, is what happens. Draconis, Ultracart.
Or he consumed the card and became Ultra God.
Otricard. Yeah, maybe.
What does he look like?
What does
Ultracart
Otricard
Spire
look like?
Draconis.
Otricard, he's medium height. He wears a black robes, a large gold
Does
necklace.
he walk around like this?
Is
He
he
has
Gold necklace.
a black,
Oh.
almost like a
That's a good
tall
question.
hat with a wide
you making fun of
brim.
His necklace doesn't look like this, does it?
No, it's
Okay,
almost
good.
like a starburst.
Starburst.
What?
Hard candy.
He has brown hair. I mean,
We should pay him a visit.
All right, let's go. Let's do that.
I suppose.
but I don't think he's the one. I mean, he's not the. From what I've heard, he's not the owner of the tower. He's the cousin of the owner of the tower.
Does he live in the tower with them?
We can get answers.
I don't know.
about the tower.
I mean, it's a big tower. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it must be a lot of space in there. There are some businesses in there too.
Oh. Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
It seems like
For
there's a
some
lot of
reason.
mixed-use dwellings in this city. Yeah.
Just some random tower no one ever goes
Right.
near, and we're walking in there.
All right.
Well, let's go. Let's go see Ultra Cardraconis.
Okay, so you walk out, you leave the pub. He said, well, good seeing you guys. I'm glad you all lived, or most of you lived.
Well, I'm glad to see you're doing
Thank
well.
you for the business. Yes.
And thanks for holding on to the cart.
Yeah, well,
And I
it's
shall
in,
see you soon.
it's in good care. It's in very good care.
You did your job. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think
sold your car.
Joseph and Sophie and perhaps
Kept it safe.
Goatspeter and Galind are heading back down to Kyberg. I'm probably not going to. I mean, I'll send for the wife, of course, but in time, once I'm settled and
Yeah, take your time.
This is a fun town, So,
It looks like
Yeah, I can tell. I'm coming in.
yeah. Okay, well, take care then.
Have a good one.
You guys.
Sure, we'll see you again.
Tom, before he goes, I'm going to tell him if you...
Take care.
When you go back to Kyberg, can you send the regards from Kip Kalin to the captain... The captain of the guard at...
Well, I'm not going back, but maybe Joseph or Gutspeter can. Yeah, or Sophie or Gerlin. Yes, yeah, by all means. Kip Kalin.
Yes, and
Joseph looks over. Kip Kalin. I'll remember that. Yeah.
Flick him a gold coin for your troubles.
Oh, very generous of you. I mean, not as generous as Dracunis, but yeah.
He's doing a service for me. It usually means that it will happen.
Yes. Well, thank you very much.
This guy just falls into money. Right place, right time.
Absolutely.
Well, looking at
He's
his
in the
complexion,
money.
I don't believe he will be among the living much longer.
You would know.
Yeah, I mean,
I would
I would-
contact
I-
have
yeah, I
your
would
family
listen to him.
contact Bob and Rob. They will take good care of them.
I mean, he looks very pasty. He probably spends too much time in the tavern.
Sometimes these things get passed around from person to person.
Well, sometimes it runs in the family.
Not in these cases, unless it's a very strange family.
Okay. I mean, it's not like contagious or anything, is it?
Oh yes, very much,
that's
but
the
in
captain.
certain circumstances,
Vern Schaufelischer?
you'll be okay.
Kyberg has got it.
Yeah.
I would put all your
That's
affairs
who
in
we
place
referred.
for the time
This is
being.
the guy that makes
Yeah,
the bows.
okay.
Yes.
Is it Captain Jake? No.
Okay.
I mean, that's good advice for anybody, really.
My notes are so
Very
bad.
true. Yes.
You never know.
Yes.
Referred Jacob? Referred... I can't remember.
That's
You all look
Yeah.
very healthy. Don't you worry. I would tell you.
I'm sure you would. I kind of just walk away.
To the tower.
You venture out
Doctor.
into the streets of Amsterdam, the winding streets, and eventually make your way toward. You can see, you don't even need a map to figure out where this tower is. You can see it spiraling over the entire city. It is just towering over everything, and you can pretty much meander in just about any kind of direction to get your way there. There are narrow streets on either side of the canals with the tall buildings on either side, and they kind of lean in toward the canals, and from the very top floors you can see what appear to be like canary like cranes sticking out to be able to lift stuff up and down inside the buildings themselves. This tower dominates the city skyline. It's a massive grayish tower with one central spire and then multiple smaller spires around it. It is not a typical looking tower by any stretch of the imagination. As you approach it, covering the structure are large, opaque, gold-colored windows on the outside. As you approach the front of it, there are 4 large glass doors facing the street.
It is fairly fancy.
Yes.
Above,
Here, so.
above the glass doors in large gold letters are the word Draconis Term. And any of you who speak Dutch would know that's Draconis' tower, in effect.
He consumes the tower.
Dragon Tower.
No Dutch. But I just assume it means dragon.
That's what I assume.
Dragon Tower.
Dragon.
What are you guys doing?
I will be gentle on the glass doors.
Is there
I
like
can be
traffic
kind of a brute.
around the tower?
I'll open
Like
them.
anybody
Yeah,
going
there's
in and
people.
out?
There's people. Actually, you see some people come out. They look like in medieval business attire, walking down the street as they do. They push open the door and walk out.
It's a rotating door. Like
No,
Empire
they're
State
large
Building.
glass. And you see the glass, Baldur. You look at it. You were initially concerned about the glass. It looks unusually thick, and
Nice.
and also it just doesn't. I mean, it doesn't look fragile.
I'll just open the door up and it'll be very fancy indeed. That's right. Super thick glass. And in we go.
In you go. You walk inside the tower.
I'll be right back, guys. I just have to go take care of something real quick.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. You are entering from right
fancy
from over there. Those doors there. You see some people coming and going, but you also see some guards loitering around the inside of the place. And there's business people. They look like they're just kind of like the medieval equivalent of security guards, if you will.
I would imagine I'm not even looking at them. I'm just kind of awestruck looking up at the high ceilings as I walk in.
You walk inside. As you enter a tall, wide room. You enter a tall, wide room with equally tall windows. Thick carpet covers the floor. Large candelabras hang from the ceiling, and the candles emanate light, but they don't flicker. To the left, a large statue of a knight with a dragon's head dominates the room. In front of it are 2 couches and 4 chairs covered with a fine gold fabric. There's a large reception desk to the left, and a middle-aged man sits behind it. There are some people coming and going, and they seem to be going to these doors on the far, my left, your right.
Those?
Fancy schmancy.
Readers?
Is there actually a piano player in
I
there?
don't even know what that is.
It seems to be
Up to the
pumped
desk.
in from somewhere.
Oh wow! It's a muzak. They call it the muzak. It's new.
You walk in, and you can.
Oh, is there music playing? Is there?
The carpet is very fine, and you
see
see
the
it-
musician.
a dark blue embroidered with gold, almost black.
What
walk up
is
to
the
the desk?
plan? Do you
You want to walk up to the welcome desk?
Would we know that we go
I mean,
to
we
the
came
desk?
to pick up
Well, there's a
the
middle-aged
clothes.
man there. We could just talk to the person
I
that
mean, I
was
presume we're gonna have to pay the $3,000. Get the
What
cards
about
out
the
of lock,
Vitamin?
but I
The
don't know.
Vitamin? No?
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, you know,
We'll keep that on the low down.
don't say that word in here.
I mean, I wasn't yelling at it. I was
Bitterman! You want to say the Bitterman!
Echoes.
Echo. You can hear your echo in here. I guess, yeah, we'll go up to the desk.
Yeah, be like,
Besides the guards, he's the only one in the room besides people walking around.
we are looking for Ultracart, Draconis.
A middle-aged man in a fine suit, very snug. He stands up and he says, I'm sorry, you're looking for Ultracart?
Yes.
May I please ask, who should I say is calling?
The Champions of the Sun.
The Champions of the Sun.
I believe he is expecting us.
Yes.
Ultracart, expecting the... Very well.
I should have worn my nice clothes. do.
We might have
Very,
time to
very
change.
nice.
We have time to change.
Maybe one of those rooms over there.
Yeah, you might want to look a little more presentable. I gotta clean up a little. We don't want to go see this guy.
Brush off my kilt.
I feel out of place in here.
Excuse
Getting
me,
mud all
I'm
over
sorry
the
if I
carpet.
didn't. You just started speaking to me. I mean, hello, guten tag, bonjour, kann ich dir helfen? Whatever language is your preference, I speak. So, by all means, he reaches over and he picks up something on some type of device, and he puts it up to his ear, and he starts speaking into it. Yes, the champions of the sun.
Oh, it's like a sending stone.
Yes. Oh, yes. By all means. Very well. Very well. And he puts it down. Please have a seat, champions of the sun. I'm sorry if I didn't recognize you.
What is that?
It's like a sending stone. It's fascinating.
It's a device to be able to communicate with Otricot and to whoever else is.
How does it work?
You just pick it up and
May we
push
see
the
it?
button.
May we see it?
Well, I mean, it's attached to like the desk, but
Hey, I see it.
Certainly. Here, I mean, you can't take the cord off of it, but here.
Hello.
I mean,
What is it made out of? Just like wood, or?
you can't tell. It's like some kind of black and metal. There's like two cups. One of them's kind of bent at an angle with like a, and another one is just a big round cup.
What do you hear?
Nothing.
You got to pull the string tighter. Is
No,
there a string on
I
it?
would have to contact someone for you.
Oh, do it.
I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes.
Certainly. Now hold on.
Those
You have two,
should
you
hear-
have two nerds in the group now, man. You're in
You should
trouble.
hear like a ringing for a moment.
It's making a noise. Yeah. Yeah.
Someone, you hear a voice on the other end. It says, "Yes, may I help you?"
Where are you?
You're downstairs, correct?
No, where are you?
Who is this? This does not sound like Grocer.
This is not Grocer. This is Simon. Where are you?
Upstairs.
Amazing.
There is a man in there.
It's fascinating.
I can hear him. Listen.
Are you in there?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. There is a man in there.
Hello?
Just slap my forehead.
He's
Sit
inside
down on
there.
the
He's a
couch.
little man.
Grocer says to you, let me take that from...
Such a deep voice for such a little man.
He was
appreciate
definitely a little man stuck in there.
I appreciate it. This is amazing.
Or, I guess.
It's just magic. You do it all the time.
Yes. I have sending
But
stones
that
do
is
that.
like, it's stationary and it goes. And he didn't have to do anything.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's no flair, I
And
guess.
it just works. I mean, it works all the time.
It's
Maybe he's concentrating on it constantly.
It is magic.
No,
Have you seen his
it's
face?
Definitely not magic.
It is science.
Yes. Kind of, I guess.
It is magic.
Who made it?
Honestly, I don't know.
I thought he could do this. Why is he so lazy?
Alexander Graham Bell.
Vendo.
Someone in the tower?
looking into it at some point.
I'm sorry?
You just hold up two stones.
I believe
I only have
perhaps
one.
Maritianus made it.
My wife.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
Are they
maybe I
gonna
can talk to
come
him
down?
later.
Yeah, somebody's
Are they gonna
coming
bring
right
us
for
up?
you. I apologize.
Thank you so much.
A short
I'm-
while later,
never-
a gentleman in
No, I have the one
fine-looking
guy that
clothing.
sells
Put yourselves in the room.
from Gunter.
We're kind of on there.
That we left.
Oh, you guys.
My wife and like 3 other people. Remember we left them behind? You were here for that. You were here for that.
We don't have multiple
And that was like
figures.
many years ago. And we never came back. Just never went back home.
You never. You have a wife?
And I want
Like, and she's just out there, like you don't even know.
I don't know. I'm gonna put you there.
Okay, if somebody could push the camera forward there for me, please. This gentleman comes forth, and he's wearing black ribbed robes with fine fur going down the edges of it. He has a large gold chain around his neck with a large gold sun on his chest. He appears middle-aged, has brown, neatly cropped hair, and is wearing a big black felt hat, obviously very, very fine, with a silk ribbon around it. And he comes forward, and he's like, welcome.
I could,
Champion. Does the sun look like our sun?
I can see you're a fan.
A fan?
Of us?
Yes! I'm not just myself, but my cousin is a big fan of yours.
Is his sun the same as the Champions logo?
No,
Oh.
but I didn't think of that. The Champions of the Sun! That is brilliant! Yes, it could very well
Balder
be.
just immediately assumes it's ours.
It was, forgive me! I didn't, it absolutely should be. I mean, this is such an honor. And my cousin and my lord is going to be delighted to meet you. I mean, he's not in right today, but he'll be back tomorrow morning. Are you staying in town?
I guess we are now.
I certainly hope so.
You wouldn't have room. You wouldn't have room for us here, would you?
We could most certainly make room for you here.
That would be great.
We could even put you on separate floors if you wanted.
That's all right. We can be on the same floor.
We like to stick together.
Maybe him on a separate floor.
Oh yeah.
I'm the more comfortable
Thinking the
amongst the
same
people, as opposed to in such a.
You must be Balder.
I am Balder.
And I've heard
It's nice to meet
you are absolutely brilliant. You have a mind that is incredible.
Well,
I
thank
mean,
you.
from
Is that true?
People have said it before. People have said it before.
Yes, I mean, is that not
wait.
true? And
You know, suddenly
People have said it.
Oh,
He can almost keep up with me.
No, seriously.
I'm
Would
close.
you excuse us for just a moment?
I just
and
didn't. I was too dumb to realize how smart you were.
Are we okay with staying
Look
in
at
a
this
tower
place.
created by someone we don't know who's been anticipating you guys?
I mean, we stay.
I mean, he's a fan of us.
I mean, this
Stay in
place looks
taverns with
amazing.
people we don't know.
It is
Yeah,
comfortable,
but, like,
and do you hear that? It's so
I don't know.
soothing.
Maybe I'm just paranoid. But if there's some sort of
Well, I
trap,
mean, admittedly, I am surprised we have a reputation this far west.
Our
I would
reputation
have thought
is.
if anywhere, our reputation would be better entrenched to the east, since that's where we began our.
No, well, Redbeard
Journeys.
told. We just met Redbeard, who is
But-
spreading tales of the champions.
I mean, I can just
Oh,
answer.
right.
How have you heard about us?
how we heard?
I heard
Well,
about that.
Yes.
your reputation does precede you. I mean, there are tales of the champions of the sun being sung in many of the taverns around here. I mean, quite exotic tales, except there is this one bard who claims to have done all of your deeds himself. But other than that, bard, your deeds precede you. They followed you here, or you were here long before you got here. We heard about your encounter with Osman Ghazi, no less. I mean, and we have heard about your fighting giant water pussies in the Adriatic, defeating Ottoman viziers, fighting in the fields of Sculpa all the way that far back, crossing from Venice through the Alps. Yes, your stories are just astounding and incredible, and I am positive that Valitas it wants to spend as much time with you as possible. I mean, he would really genuinely like to pick your brain. I mean, well, not literally pick your brain, but if you know what I mean.
You have no problem with that, do you?
None whatsoever.
I'm sorry?
That's a weird choice of words.
Yes, I'm sorry. That probably was not a very polite way to put it. But he is a big fan of the Champions of the Sun, as am I.
I'm just raising my eyebrow at you.
Perhaps we should just see how it all plays
Well,
out.
there is a matter of a particular cart.
Yes,
that
we have it. It's
understand.
in very good keeping over at
What
the
does he
Biderman
do?
warehouse. What does who do, ma'am?
What is this guy's name?
Please have a seat.
Oh no, this is
Ultra
Ultracard.
Card? No.
This is Ultra
The
Card.
guy who owns the tower. What does he do for a
Sir,
living?
you
How
said
is he?
that there was one bard who is trying to claim that our deeds were his.
Well, it's just what I've heard the songs. What does Veritas do?
Yeah.
Veritas Draconis? Well, I mean, he's made most of his money in selling bitumen to the Teutons. But yes, they're very large consumers of bitumen, probably the largest consumers in the world, and they pay very generously for bitumen, for refined bitumen, mind you.
What
They
is
just can't refine it,
His
so.
interest in like the Champions of the Sun. Does he?
Well,
I don't know. Oh, he's not.
Oh,
Does he
he's
have anything specific that he likes about the Champions of the Sun that he repeats, or?
Well, he's heard.
I'm just.
He loves to be surrounded by brilliant minds. And you.
Still sounding bad.
What are you thinking?
I'm just trying to see what he's so interested about.
You seem to have reservations for some reason. He is very genuine and welcoming. He's. Most people find him very friendly and likable. I mean, he's my cousin. Perhaps I'm a bit biased.
You can meet him tomorrow.
Some people have an interest in celebrity.
Yes, exactly. It's one thing to work, but to be surrounded by those who are, have made a name for themselves adventuring out in the world. What are you thinking, Simon? Nothing? No. Mind is blank.
We should meet.
I think we should stay.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Mattias, what are you thinking?
I've never felt this welcome anywhere.
What is Mattias thinking?
Well, I'm surprised. I'd forgotten that we paid that
He
bond.
might have the resources to help us.
He might have the resources to help you do what?
We can talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, business tomorrow.
Business tomorrow, absolutely.
Tonight
I can recommend some good restaurants.
Yes,
and
that's
set you
what I
up.
was That
if
is what
you'd
kept us
like.
thinking.
Some very, very fine.
He didn't eat there, but he will eat here.
Recognized before I even have come to a place myself.
Well, come on, Matthias. We are very recognizable.
Would you like rooms here then? I can set you up.
Yes, I think so.
Absolutely.
Very well, very well.
If we are welcome, then absolutely we will indulge ourselves in our host's hospitality.
Please, do you want to go to rooms now?
Food? It's restaurants? Food?
Midday, right? I mean, it's not even.
It's probably
I would
middle afternoon.
I would like to get cleaned up.
Yeah, it's a very good idea.
Do you have
I mean, I'm probably this high in blood, and it's probably still coming out of my boots.
We will arrange for it. Thank you. You might need your own room for that. Is that all right?
Of course, yes.
Okay. Well, follow me then.
All right.
And he turns and he takes you towards one of these doors over to the side. Okay. And you follow in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And two of the guards go with him.
So nice.
And then he goes, "Oh, it's just security.
When the guards walk in, I'm guessing we're just in a small square room.
You're in a small room like this, and you're all jamming. And he goes, you all kind of.
This is pull. I got my hammer out right away.
They're gonna kill us. And he goes, "Oh!" And everybody, roll a perception check, please.
Hey, 18, finally.
18.
Baldur woke up.
14.
22.
15. I'm just gonna slam
You rolled
one
a
of the
22?
guards.
22.
I'm just gonna push one of the guards against the wall.
Wow.
11.
I can't think of any other reason they'd shove us in a small box.
He's claustrophobic.
It's
What kind of games are we playing?
I'm sorry about that. It's just the nature of the way these things work. Mind you, I hope you don't mind.
He's stalling.
Hmm?
What works? How? What is happening?
There's an individual in the corner, and he turns to Otricot, and Otricot gives him a floor number. He says, 80, please. And the guy reaches over, puts a card in, and punches some digits on the box. And
like
the
a
box,
Christmas tree.
And the doors close.
Oh no.
And there's that awkward.
I'll just like slowly come off the
And-
guard, like
Baron
this is
farts.
okay.
Your hammer suddenly feels heavier.
Excuse me.
You feel suddenly very weak.
Yeah. Oh.
Very weak. Mattias, were you wearing your armor?
No, currently mine was dismissed.
It suddenly pops back on you.
I tried to dismiss it again.
Nothing happens.
I need to sit down. I'm gonna like slide against the wall.
Something's gone wrong.
Are you all right?
I don't
My
feel
good
well.
mood has evaporated.
You can feel
You felt what is it for the
yourself rising up in the air, and all of a sudden it starts to calm down. And he goes, perhaps it's just the device. Sometimes it affects people differently.
What is this device?
It takes you to another floor in the building.
It's like the magic that you use that got us stuck into walls.
I tried jumping a little before it's.
You jump.
No, I'll be like, don't
seems to work
do
a little bit
that.
better than
Don't do
what
that.
What is Galila thinking?
Get me out of here.
She's kind of like just arms folded, leaning against the wall, just eyeing the guards. Unfamiliar faces, just naturally.
They don't have faces. They're wearing helmets. The helmets are down.
Just being very observant, extremely to any like movements of the people that she does not know in this, I guess, room.
Everybody seems to be standing there looking
Yeah.
at the doors you came in from.
But she's not looking like she's uncomfortable, just look chill. But in her mind, she's just like.
You feel very weak.
Yeah, I'm totally lamazing right now. Breathing in between my legs, sliding to the floor. I'll sit there and try to put my head kind of towards my knees.
Kip, are you alright?
I don't like this. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out.
Well, you heard him. Open the door.
I'm sorry.
Let me out.
I'll start trying to like pry the door.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do
Hurry,
that.
Balder, hurry.
I wouldn't do that. It's, we're almost there.
Almost to where?
I just stand in between.
What is
my
wrong?
Koa
What is
and
wrong with you?
Kip. I'm just gonna pet both of you.
What's going on?
No, don't touch me. Don't touch me. I don't.
You're not concerned by this at all?
By what?
They just locked us in a box.
No, you're not.
No, don't talk about the box.
No. No.
Transportation device.
Yes, we're.
To like a secret dungeon?
No, it feels like we're going up.
Kip's gonna pass out.
Kip passes out.
Kip passes out.
I'll just be holding him, trying to shake him.
And here we are.
Sniffing song.
Sorry about the delay. The door opens and you find yourself in a suite with multiple rooms, about the size of that floor plan there. And off of it, in each of the corners, there's like an alcove going to another octagonal room. You look out and there's large windows looking out around. You step out of the box. Somebody helps Kip out of the box.
When the door opens, he
I'll put him on like the nearest. I'll put him on like the nearest sofa that's maybe
You
somewhere
start
around.
to feel slightly better when you get outside of it.
Just breathe out of this. Is there another way back down?
Yeah, I'll look out the windows in disbelief that we're up this high.
Is there another way down? Yes, I mean, there's a set of stairs, but
Why couldn't we just take the stairs to begin with?
it's 80 stories. And, you know what? We'll get someone to carry you.
I might take the stairs.
He doesn't deserve that kind of treatment.
Oh, you're the champions of the sun. Please, I'll leave you. Freshen up. And downstairs, Grocer will have some her restaurant recommendations for you.
Could you send up some wine in the meantime?
Absolutely, we can do that. Yes, Grocer will be up with something shortly. Is there anything else we can get for you?
The bath.
The bath will be right through that alcove over there. There's a spigot on the wall, a gold one. Just turn it one direction for hot and the other direction for cold. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Do you also have any fruits or anything like that?
And we can absolutely send up some fruit for you.
Anything sweet, fruits, cupcakes.
Damn, somebody was just on
yes,
vacation.
indeed.
All kinds of things.
Oh,
Ready to live it up.
Somebody was just on vacation.
Yes, yes. And perhaps some chocolates too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Amsterdam. We are known for our
And I'm sure we can bring up some ale.
Yes, of course we can bring up some ale. We'll have it, you prefer it cold or room temperature?
Cold.
Cold, very well.
It comes cold. I've never had it cold.
Well,
That sounds
if you'll
disgusting.
excuse me.
Let's try it.
All right.
He backs up very slowly
My room.
into the box. And he goes, thank you very much. And just ring downstairs if you need anything.
Ring what?
Oh, there's one of those devices over on the table right over there.
Oh. Fabulous.
I'm gonna.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. And again, Veritas is so looking forward to meeting
To our brains, yes.
To what?
To picking our brains.
No. But so looking forward to meeting you.
Are there guards up here as well?
No, he has two with him. And I'll see you later. He steps back into the elevator.
He won't leave. First thing Balder's doing, I'm taking all the furniture I can find and I'm barricading that door. We're not going in there again. And I'll just like put a bunch of stuff in front of it.
Nice. You can teleport us out of here, right? Like, get us out if we need it.
We're
I
not
would
doing
take that
that
chance
either.
this time.
That works so well.
You may end up like 80 stories in the air.
You're sitting there going,
fall.
I think I
The
can
rest of
remember what
the
the
way
lobby
down.
looks like. Yeah.
Simon, if you try to teleport me, don't. Okay? Let me know.
I mean,
Let me know first.
I'm sure he's a champion of the sun.
I
I'm
could
sure
make
he's more
us
than
fly
capable.
much easier than I could teleport.
It's as long as you can get us out of here.
Is my armor still
Why do you want to
on?
leave? These are the finest
I
accommodations
don't
we've been
want.
in years.
I don't want to leave right now. I
Your
just want to
armor,
lay down.
if you want it disappeared, it disappears.
I see.
Does Kip experience some vertigo
Am
when
I
he
the
goes
only
near the
one
window?
who is worried by the fact that there's
You tell
something
me.
in this tower that could quite literally cause magic to stop working?
I think it
80,
was
yeah,
just...
80 stories up. I think he probably.
You go to the window and you look out, and it is, as you can imagine, this panoramic view of the city down below, leaning forward. You can see the tower juts outward, so it's wider at the base than it is higher up, but not by much. Down, way down below are 3 4-story slate roof and some terracotta roofed buildings way down below. You can clearly make out the canals in between. You see the large bay beyond with ships in the bay, and a large building stands out prominently near the water, and belching from the water's edge corner rooftop is this grayish blue smoke and black smoke belching from it. And it's a large building compared, physically, land space on the ground compared to other buildings.
That would probably be where they refine the bitumen. What? Is he talking on the setting stone?
Oh, well, I'm lounging on the couch drinking some wine.
I just start.
You guys are way too
Tasting
stressed out.
any little snack, any little thing that's on the tables.
I haven't been in bed in forever. I've been sleeping on the floor.
The elevator opens and all your bed.
Grocer comes out,
all my stuff's in the way.
and he's got a cart, a gold cart with little dragon motifs on it, and he rolls it forward and he goes, I apologize for not knowing who you were. Welcome to Amsterdam.
Totally fine.
Welcome to Dorken's Term, the Dragon's Tower. We hope you have a pleasant stay. If there's anything else, please let me know.
I think we're good for now.
Unraveling my braids.
Getting ready again.
And he goes back into the
I'm ready to
box and disappears.
Barricaded this time.
The dragon above the city.
Do we see him out the window?
Have you ever heard stories?
I'm sorry, I forgot that you barricaded it. He opens it and kind of hands it over.
I wanted to ask him one thing before he goes, though.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Handing you stuff over.
Yeah, I'll take the stuff, and I'm like, do you have anyone who can wash our armor?
Absolutely. We'll bring up some, would you like some pajamas or something like that?
Oh,
lounging.
Sure.
And then yes.
Take a bath?
Yes, most certainly. Most certainly can. Yes, we'll bring up something for
Baron has more bats than Borin than day one.
In the meantime, there's some robes in the room off to the side where the bath is.
Okay.
And the toiletries, and then we'll bring you up something more comfortable.
Is this how most of your adventures go about?
Oh, yes. Definitely.
We stay at a place like this,
almost every night. Yeah, almost.
Is certainly something.
Where I come from being young, I'm used to all this. I don't want to say all this fancy stuff with my father in this business. So when we ever have the opportunity,
this is what I am used to as well in this practice.
I've never experienced this.
I'm gonna say it's pretty nice.
It's very nice. It's as nice as the finest rooms back at the manor house.
I'm gonna go.
I'm not used to this 24/7. I'm off. If anyone wants to go in the baths,
I shall be right there.
I'll meet you.
I will meet you. I'll be right there.
I go in first. She doesn't care.
Lyko is already in there.
Come on, Lyko.
Is there more than one?
Smells like wet dog.
Is there more than one bath? No, there's not more than one bath. But it has something that you've never seen before in the baths that you've probably taken. It has this hole and with this little plug that when you can put it in and take it out again, and the water just continues to go down it.
It take a very long time.
Cannot decide if all of this is witchcraft or not.
Somebody say a witch.
There's one thing I cannot stand.
You must burn witches in the touch.
This is not witchcraft. This is magic.
This is definitely
Some
magic.
fine magic.
This is rich magic.
This is a dragon's magic. Have any of you heard
Story time.
that a dragon can take the form of a man?
I have read such things. Yes.
None of
You're
the
referring
dragons
to
we've
the
met.
statue downstairs?
No. I'm referring to the beast in the sky.
None of the dragons we've met have done that.
Not that you've seen.
Well, I mean, the statue
Right.
has a depiction of him.
No.
With the dragon head.
It is
Human
possible
body.
that a dragon may transform to the form of a man or a human.
Exactly. I have a feeling that his cousin is up there.
We all look up.
Do you mean God?
No,
Let's go up there.
The black dragon above the
I
city.
see. Yes.
Is his
I
cousin.
believe you are correct. It is the logical thing.
Times he spends as a dragon and times he spends as a man.
No?
Maybe.
That could be useful to us then. He might know quite a bit about what we need to know.
But for now, I shall sleep like the dead.
It worries me that he is supplying the...
This guy worries me.
I avoid all mirrors, by the way.
that he
He is supplying what?
He
All your
seems
mirrors
to
are
be
turned around. I go
the
duck under the mirrors. I go around.
supplier of the bitumen to the Teutons.
It is quite a distance. They are all the way in Terra Mariana to the northeast.
But they use the ships.
And it may be nothing more than a business venture for him, but we're...
Oh right, were you with us when we were in Carpathia?
No.
No, you weren't.
No, you
Then
rest...
you don't remember the clock. Then you don't
rescued
remember
me
the
the Alps.
clockwork dragon.
No.
I don't even.
Created by the
The
Teutons.
Teutons have clockwork dragons somehow.
It's like a great machine of some sort.
Failing to see the connection,
Well, they choose the mechanical over the magical or the spiritual.
Could they use the bitumen as fuel?
Perhaps.
though. Is the bitumen like a powder or a substance? Is
But
it
if I,
liquid, right?
But if I remember correctly, it was friendly.
It was a liquid, like a tar or like
It's a
a...
very thick sandy tar.
Okay.
Yeah, but it gets refined.
Before it's refined.
And then when it's refined, it's like a liquid.
Yeah, it's more liquidy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the sand when it
Can a dragon
blew
create
up
it?
in that
Or is
town.
it made,
Maybe.
like man-made?
Barrels, how
It's
Like,
man
is it
man
like digging through it or
refined, I'm
something?
guessing.
Something?
That's what that factory, or that's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
that's what I was
that factory
wondering.
is. It's
That's
like a
what I was
refinery. They're either heating it up or they're doing something to refine it
Yeah,
down
I
to
think
something
they
different.
are. They're shipping it from mines all the way up here to refine.
Refine it,
and
and then
sell
they put it on the boat,
Yeah.
and they send it.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
And that town we ran into just had a very unfortunate accident storing it there.
I don't know if it was, I mean, I wasn't, I don't know if it was.
No, yeah.
I don't know if it was accidental or on purpose. We never really figured that out. I think it was accidental.
Yeah, we don't know. Inconclusive.
Yeah, right. We came at it at the angle that somebody did it, but then couldn't figure that out.
Outside.
Baron's already laying on the bed.
Are you done with your bath?
Like that?
Are you done with your bath in there?
Just took a coffee table and put it over you.
Yeah, you definitely had to knock because I was wondering.
I think she's sleeping in there.
Yes.
So, what are your plans? You're alone in this room. Eventually, you start to see a glorious sunset out the windows.
My plan is to take a bath if Galila ever gets out of bed.
Bath, food.
Grocer
sleep.
brings up another tray and hands it over the barricade of several sets of pajama clothes.
Like move the barricade, take the food, put the barricade back.
I'm already wearing my robe, and I'll hand him that's like the 200 pounds of armor.
He puts it on a cart. Is there anything else?
Yeah, I'll wear the robe and I'll give him like the leather and the kilt and just clean the clothes.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very well. Do you need your armor cleaned or anything else?
Give him Lycoa's
sir?
barding.
No, I just
That gets dirty.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Thank you, though.
If there's anything else we can get you, Grocer has your some reservations downstairs for you at various restaurants.
Oh, fabulous.
By your leave.
I could go for a restaurant.
I can go for a restaurant, but we'd have to figure out another way to get down there.
It has been some time since I've enjoyed a restaurant.
I come out of the bath.
Well, the stairs are over there. I will see you downstairs in 45 minutes.
45
I mean, unless you sprint. So like 27 minutes.
I show up by dessert.
I'm taking the magic box back down to the bottom.
I don't like it.
Maybe you should start sitting on the floor.
If you like, I can make you blind and deaf, so that it does not bother you. Would you like me to blind you and deafen you?
No, I don't think so.
It is always an option.
Thank you for the offer, though. I appreciate
You have some
it.
interesting solutions to some of these problems.
Yeah.
Would you be able to unblind him?
Maybe
It will wear off eventually.
maybe going down won't
So,
be
yeah,
as
it worked.
rough as going up.
It didn't bother me one bit, so I don't know.
Well, you do fly pretty often. I mean, maybe you're used to it.
You know, I think maybe I could just order in.
You're gonna have to leave at some point.
Simon,
do I
I shall
have to?
join you for dinner.
Boren's retired.
Please.
I can retire right here.
It's a choice.
Never leaving the tower.
Just squatting here.
I don't know
Or
how
you
long.
can jump out of one of these windows, and Simon.
I would like
can
Yeah, I don't
have-
trust that.
I would like to point
very
out, I don't know
presumptuous.
how long their hospitality will remain free.
Try.
Yeah. I can
If it's even free right now. We didn't ask.
I could go invisible.
Here's your bill.
We didn't ask.
I could, yeah. All right, I will.
40,000.
If you guys go in the elevator,
Then we're going out the window.
Kip
I'll
will,
give Kip a pat on the shoulder and cast guidance on him.
he will sit down in the corner of the elevator and just brace himself for the worst.
Okay. As soon as you get into the elevator, you start to feel weak.
Yeah, I'm not liking this. I'm not liking
Anybody
this.
have anything active, magical on them? Nothing. Okay.
Not active, I don't think.
Okay. Mattias, your armor had been dismissed.
Yeah, I
It
don't think
suddenly
I have.
pops back on you again.
Oh, no,
your
yeah, the
felt
hammer,
on me.
the hammer
Yeah.
is now, yeah. So that would be the only thing.
So the hammer suddenly
You need
becomes
to
heavy
concern me
again.
greatly.
My necklace is a little bit. I feel the pressure of it.
Your
Am I the only one who's beginning to get concerned?
No, it dispels the magic.
Well, it's like Simon
because
said,
of
it's-
the magic used to
yeah.
transportate up and down. It's harmless.
Oh, you think it's the magic?
Yes, it
He's gonna
dispels the magic.
take off Boren's necklace.
It's like
and he's
an
gonna take
amplifier.
the eye and take that out and see if he
But
starts.
you
feeling
are
better.
you are
Doesn't feel any
of a magical origin, no?
You just put the eye back in, put the necklace back.
It is in your blood.
You can tell even
I
without
will
seeing
try.
the
Oh
points.
yes, everybody can tell.
I'll try to
It's
cast.
very obvious.
I'll try to cast light.
Yeah.
I'll try to cast light on myself. See what happens. It is kind of weird.
Please.
You eventually arrive on the first floor. You're clean. You have some. He brought up some nice
You're
clothes to
wearing
go out
jammies
in.
to dinner.
He has some nice
I'm like,
clothes. as
I'm
well.
just feeling like I'm living the life. Just rocking in my
We're like in little tuxes.
Everybody having a good time?
Yes,
most
sir.
comfortable clothes I've ever put on.
His pajama pants say juicy on the
Oh,
front.
no. We're gonna end the session. I don't know if Kip gets out of the elevator.
You are out of the elevator.
Oh,
You're
thank
in the
God.
lobby in dress clothes to go out on the town if you so desire.
The door opens up. It's
Yeah, I'm
like.
staying my clothes.
Yes. And
right
they
out-
provide
right out of the
you
door.
with something.
My
Surprisingly, it's very nice and very comfortable. It's
I'm right out of the movie Santa Claus. I'm just in red silk pajamas.
Your initials are embroidered on it.
I'm just walking around.
Okay. Interesting stuff. Fun stuff. Let's start with you, Reiner. Did you have a good time?
I did.
What was your highlight?
The fact that Matthias was so utterly out of his element.
In what part were you out of your element?
I wasn't.
I mean, Matthias.
Matthias.
In which part was he? Okay. In the tower, you mean, or the whole night?
Well, the entire thing, really, because everything that's happening right now is the exact opposite of what he was expecting.
Okay.
And he's just waiting for something to go wrong, because this all seems like it's doomed to go horribly wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on the roof.
It will. It will. Well, it's not yet.
Possibly go wrong.
The roof has a dragon on it.
Okay. Well, hey.
He wants to eat our brains.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to eat him. He just wants to pick at him.
Awesome. I'm glad you were able to make it. I hope whatever you had going on, you were able to work out there. 1,500 experience points.
The dragon attacks us. What do you know about vampires?
Brian, did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
What was your highlight?
I mean, it's so great to be able to start up a new character, try some new stuff, just like the interactions of everybody. You know, just a role play when everybody first met my character. So this is great. I love it. A lot of fun. So.
Oh, cool. I loved the voice. I look forward. No, I'm thrilled. And this isn't a challenge. I look forward.
It'll get better.
I look forward to hearing you continue it if you decide to do so.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you don't,
absolutely,
that's up to you.
I'm committed to it.
5,500 experience points with the level difference. That should be 2 dings, I believe. You should pop to level 5. Awesome. Congratulations.
It's growing up before our eyes.
Did you have a good time?
Yes, I did.
What was your highlight?
I feel like, because I enjoyed it all, I'm trying to think of like.
I thought your horror that you seemed like you were experiencing there for a little bit. My new character. You seemed legit terrified at some point what was going to happen.
Yeah, I think coming back in, because I was trying to think about how from the last, like, I guess I'm like from Borth leaving, like where her state of mind was. So like just like coming out and then just like, okay, let's keep it moving. I think scouting ahead was pretty
I thought that was pretty cool with
I think that was the best part, because I feel like right then and there, depending on what was found, she would have been like, let's go.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, very cool. I'm glad you played. 3,000 experience points. Mark, did you have a good time?
I did. Thank you, Tom.
What was your highlight?
There's a couple. I got to speak with animals for the first time. That was pretty fun with the ravens, and I don't know. I didn't know where it was going in the mausoleum, but I suspected we were going to meet the Baron, not knowing the Baron, but it was.
It really would have been funny if you guys had just kept going.
And I was trying to tie.
The Baron comes out. Hey,
I knew.
You!
Hey,
come back! Come
back!
And someone fireball.
I knew it was a possibility. Come back! I legit was like, it's
the idea of zombies being there and tying in the previous encounter that we had with that, and trying to use that as like incentive to try to go somewhere where we may not have gone. I don't know. I enjoyed that, and that was fun. Zyman with the telephone was funny as well. That was good. There's a little man in here.
You got 2 nerds in the party now. We're going to nerd out over a smart thing. That's good.
Okay. Well, very cool. Let me back up here a moment. I misspoke. Brian, you had 65. You get 6,500. Not because I miscalculated your level difference.
One more.
Zubaydah, 4,000. Mark, 3,000 experience points. You're level 10, correct? 3,000.
I am.
So if I told you 3, it's actually 4, Zubaydah.
Okay.
Ryan, did you have a good time?
Of course.
What was your highlight?
My highlight had to be Brian finally coming out of the closet.
But
for real, I think I really enjoyed kind of the RP that I got to do with Balder this time around, where just kind of feeding into his narcissism and feel like letting his ego inflate. I kind of like playing that out, so that was cool.
I think it's cool, yeah.
Yeah. So I like he's happy to be here. He's like, all these people love me, so he's happy.
Well, very cool. 1,500 experience points. Jess, did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
What was your highlight?
Of course, I like the reveal from the closet. I have to say, I'm supremely disappointed that Brian didn't name his new character Ballrinth just to mess with you.
He did keep a B.
It did keep a B. I did keep a B.
Baron, but it's the Baron.
Yeah.
Well, very cool.
And I'm very fascinated about the tower and the magic that resides in it. Simon is very excited to probably snoop around, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Snoop and find out what's going on.
We gotta find out what's in the basement.
Yes. There's plenty of snooping going on later.
Very cool. 1,500 experience points. Guys, I had a great time. Thank you for making the trek. Reiner, thank you for joining us, whatever was going on. I appreciate you being able to squeeze time in. Brian, awesome. Thank you for, you guys don't know, there's a lot of communication that went back and forth between Brian and I, and so I really appreciate you taking the time to
so
actually put in the time. That last session and the build up to this session. If you guys didn't notice, I had the monitors turned off at the beginning so you wouldn't see it, but there was, or I think I did.
Yeah, I
but
saw it.
Brian's open is
I
in
saw
there
the
already,
character.
and so I mean, there's obviously a lot of work on my part, but it takes a lot of communication with players. So, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that. Zubeda, thank you for making the trek. I don't know how you keep doing it. Mark, thank you for being here. Brian, thank you for making it again.
Thanks for having
and
us.
Jess as well. Thank you guys. You make this so much fun for me. Okay, here we are. Thank you for watching Seven-Sided Die's Carpathian Adventure. Again, as we leave you, please indulge my periodic diatribe. I haven't done one of these in a while because we've been waiting on Brian to his character and for you guys to finally get to the Badenweiler, and I had to push you there. But I recently joined a new build as a long-term Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game with a group of strangers online. Always a gamble, but sometimes I've had some great experiences too. We had a session 0 that lasted a few hours. As we were strangers online, it had the associated awkward Tuckman silence where while everyone was trying to figure out if this was the group for them and how they might each fit in. The DM seemed like a friendly fellow, older, subdued, mild-mannered. So far, so good. Fast forward to the end of session 0, we start character creation. The DM required that we dice roll for attributes. The system he used permitted the players to make one click in an online application that would randomly generate all of our character's 6 attributes: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Clicking the app one time would roll 4d6 and drop the lowest 1 die 6 times. For some, if not most, of the players, the app rolled very well. The sum totals for their attributes were 10 to 14 points above the standard array and above what one might achieve with point buy. As you might guess from the fact that I'm doing this, I did not. Myself and one other player rolled, or rather the app rolled, when we clicked it, very poorly. In my case, the app rolled multiple 1s for 2 of my attributes. In one case, 3 1s. Even dropping the lowest, that left me with 2 1s and a 4 for a total of 6 in one attribute. My highest attribute roll was a 13. For me and the other low rolling player, the sum total of our attribute arrays were 6 to 8 points below the standard array. Okay, though Dungeons & Dragons is not a competition between players, our arrays were exponentially below the arrays of the other players, as much as 22 points below in one case. they were not great nor good rolls. Post my low rolls, I indicated that I thought they were low. Another player commented that they were, quote, below that of a commoner, unquote. The DM chuckled and said, quote, the weakest characters are often the most beloved, unquote. I get what he meant. Failing forward can be funny sometimes. However, at that moment, I really wasn't looking forward to playing the party's joke character in a potentially long-term game. A one-shot? Maybe, but not a long-term game, certainly not for 2 years. I didn't want to be harnessed to doing so either. If I was going to play a joke character, I wanted it to be my choice. I'm a firm believer that communication is underrated, so I asked our DM if I might speak with him after session 0. We did. He was very polite. I asked him if I had any other options to address my character's low attributes. Might I use the standard array? Might I use point by? In using either, my attributes would have still been below that of the other players, so all good, right? Might I use one of the arrays the other players rolled? He emphasized that he tries to run a role, R-O-L-E, role-playing game first. So he emphatically said, no, that is the system he likes to use, and he was not going to change it. He added that I should look at my low attributes as, quote, a role-play challenge, unquote. I did not want to seem like a spoil sport, and I'm all for good role-play and role-play challenges. So I thought about it, and I decided to play a session. With my highest roll, a 13, I put it in intelligence.
My character was an ancient wizard with a crackly voice, like a favorite but absent-minded college professor. The other players loved him.
One player decided that my character was going to be a father figure to her character. We had a terrific couple discussions in our 3-hour session. At the end of the session, she specifically went on quite a while about how she loved the ancient wizard. Roleplay, spelled R-O-L-E, is important. Good roleplay can resolve many encounters if a DM permits it to do so. However, if a DM is going to require a good roll die or a good die roll to resolve an encounter, even after good roleplay, then mechanics matter a lot. Unfortunately, every roll the DM had me make in session 1 failed. My character simply did not have the mechanics compared to the rest of the party to resolve encounters with a dice roll. And, based on session 1, roleplay wasn't going to be enough. Dungeons & Dragons is a role-playing game, both R-O-L-E and R-O-L-L, playing game. The choices players make over the course of the campaign do and should, in my opinion, change and morph the characters into something different. However, it is also a game with a mechanical framework. That framework often is used to resolve encounters, whether they be combat or social or something else. With that, I humbly believe that all players should start the game on the same level playing field on day 1. Where the characters go from there should be determined by their choices, by the choices the players make and what happens to them in the campaign. But the base level is either the standard array, a point-buy system, a distribution of a set of numbers or points as players decide, or a collectively shared rolled array. If dice rolling, how? Perhaps have each player roll the 6 attributes, then have the players pick one of the arrays to use. Or permit the players to pick any one of the arrays, organizing them as they desire. Alternatively, have each player roll 1 attribute die roll until all 6 attributes are rolled, then let the players organize them as they desire. Back to our game. Post session 1, I asked to speak with and spoke with my DM a second time. Again, he was very polite. When we did, he said he loved my character, the voice, and the direction I was going with him. I asked him if he would permit good role play without dice rolls to occasionally resolve encounters. While he went on for a bit, he was basically saying no. I then again expressed my concern regarding what I felt were my, to be blunt, crappy attributes compared to the other party members. He again emphasized that that's the system he used and he wasn't going to change it. I thanked him. I told him I appreciated his time, and I said I am bowing out of the game. I didn't threaten or try to play, let's make a deal. I simply said, thank you, this is not the game for me. He was surprised, but in the end he said, okay, and literally that's all he said. At the end of the day, we play for fun, only for fun. And starting off on a level playing field with other players who were strangers just wasn't going to be fun for me. I didn't have to be OP or overpowered. I just didn't want to be the weak link because of what was, in effect, one bad dice roll. One bad click. One bad dice roll that would affect how my character would be played for possibly the next couple years. If I want to play the funny, weak, failing forward character, I want it to be a choice, not because of one bad click. I don't regret my decision. I learned something. I now have another question that I will ask before I commit to a game as a player, and I have one more tool in my kit box as a DM. I will end my diatribe there. Again, we'd like to thank Sirenscape for the use of their audio sound effects. That's www.syrinscape.com. Thank you, artists Yenu and Silky Noir, for the terrific character art. Please patronize them via all of those links. They did the new Baron, by the way. Please comment in the Twitch chat room, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube. While we do this strictly for fun, please let us know how we might improve the stream. Lastly, please follow us on Twitch and on Instagram. Please like on Facebook and on YouTube. And please subscribe. Always remember, in the Carpathian adventure, the journey is the destination. And we will continue the journey in 2 weeks. So for now, thank you for watching. Roll a 7-sided die and have a great night.
Huzzah!